Okay. And we are live. So, today's first stream will be on Vagrus. Last Tuesday I released a video on the game where we basically played through the tutorial. I liked the game, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna fall in love or not. And then I played a bit more off camera, and I did fall in love with the game, and now I can't stop thinking about it or playing it. So I did a bit of a compromise. I only played the tutorial section mission again and again and again, and never to the end, trying to figure out the mechanics of the game, the optimal strategies, what to do and what not to do. So that way, when we go to the main campaign together, I won't have seen anything. Today's goal. I would like to say we will be able to finish the tutorial section adventure, the Lost Pilgrim ? But because I'm going to be reading out loud all of the text, I think it's going to slow us down considerably. So let's aim for at least making it out of Avernum for today's goal. And maybe, we'll play more beyond that. In case you guys haven't seen the Tuesday video, TLDR, we're in a fantasy Roman Empire after a cataclysm killed it. And now there's a whole bunch of... all the gods disappeared, and now there's a whole bunch of evil stuff that took over. And we're in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. Caravans like ours, Vagris, Comitatis, are one of the few means of connecting settlements. Reminds me a lot of the setup to Road Warden, at least for the profession. And also how there's a metal-starved world. But the good news is, not only do I get to play this game and have some fun, but I get to learn some Latin along the way. I think you can always use some Latin. It comes in surprisingly handy often. Anyway, let's get started. Where's my start button? There it is. That's not the start button, is it? Hey! Okay. So, we're just outside the city of Avernum. Our group has made one last gamble. They've been on the down for a while. We bought... Can I see my inventory? We bought a whole bunch of scrap metal. Let me just rearrange that. We bought a whole bunch of scrap metal from the scrapyard city. And our goal currently is to go to some random place or somewhere out there and sell it for monies. But on the way here, we encountered a black knight from a special religious order who wants us to work for him, otherwise he's gonna, I don't know, kill us or something. So now we're working for him until we can make it to wherever we're supposed to be going. The first step of the Black Knight's mission is to go into Avernum and do an investigation on who set up his unit to be ambushed and killed by undead. So, let me just drink some water because we got lots of reading to do. Yum yum. Okay. I think we'll finish off the stream by reading a whole bunch of codex entries. But any codex entries that we see that are going to be relevant... Wait, that's not my codex? Oh, there it is. Yeah, anything that's going to be relevant, like Avernum, for example, if we haven't seen it yet. Avernum. There it is. It's a city, the regional capital of the empire where the Molten Tongue meets the Smolderbone Flats, which are lava places. Avernum is surrounded by a stone and bone wall with a watchtower standing over 200 yards. The bones were carried to the site from the Plains of Bones in the south at great expenses, and often carved with elaborate decorations. The houses of the cities are in cramped lines, forming narrow streets and small plazas. Often plazas of leather and cloth awnings to shield them from the falling and slowly gathering ash of the nearby lava rivers. Oh, hello Game Google. Hi. Let me just do a bit of reading. We're going to be doing lots of reading today. A stronghold, blah blah blah. There's a prefectus, who's the regional dictator. Oh, history. I always like reading about the history. The Reborn Empire soon moved back to the abandoned Smolderbone Flats after the calamity. They found it ideal to settle because of the new resources could be found there: salt, minerals, and even obsidian. Thus, the city of Avernum was built at the western border. Under the control of an appointed governor called the prefectus, the city mostly lacks a religious apparatus of provincial settlements, but has a very large military presence. Oh my god, more reading! You're a huge fan of your content and proud to be part of my squad. Oh, I have a squad? As a dedicated community builder, you help streamers grow and showcase the possibility. Okay, whatever. That sounds hard. Anyway. Rumors is that due to its backwater status, Avernum follows imperial regulation and more loosely, it is essentially a private kingdom with a prefectus. Okay, so prefectus is going to be in charge, basically. Anything else in the codex that we need to read before we get in here? How about the Order of the Black Sun? That's what the evil Super Mega Knight is a part of. This one. The Order of the Black Sun is the first and foremost knightly order of the Empire, or the religious orders called the Pillars of the Empire, Fulcimus Imperium. They worship Surgrod and Ashkol, being proficient in both the God of Vengeance, military prowess, and the King of Death's necromancy. Seems good to know. Let's go to the city. Boop. Here's a tutorial. I'm going to be mostly ignoring them because I've played it so many times. The city of Avernum, you can smell its foul stench even as you approach its mighty gate, set in dark walls decorated with the bones of gigantic creatures. The dry, sulphurous reek of the region, so close to the molten tongue, mixes with the bitter, ashen stink of the many foundries and forges in the city. Over the walls of the rooftops and chimneys of the city lean together in a jumble. Buildings on the lower part of the hill are more dilapidated, while the ones near the top are in better condition in general, with a walled-off villa appearing here and there. As a group of guards stops you... A group of guards stops you as the Comitatus moves ponderously under the gate arc. While your cargo and men are being checked, you see several of the grim, black-clad legionnaires of the Avernus Legion standing guard beneath the gate towers, staring at you. Gate tax is 2 changers, which is the little copper coin. I call them copper, silver, and gold because of the D&D system, but really they should be... I don't know, I think changers are like bone coins. Bone, copper, and silver. Meh. I do the math in my head of calculating everything from the lowest point. So right now we have 30 bucks, 31 bucks. If we had some silver coins, we'd have like 131 bucks. Since the most useful thing we need to buy our supplies, they either come at 1 or 2 buckaroos each. It translates pretty well. Anyway, gate tax is 2 monies. The head guardsman says after getting the confirmation from his men that everything is in order. A slave next to him bows to you and holds up money bag. Okay, just pay it. Having passed through the city gates, you arrived at the cobbled plaza on the other side. You head towards the Mancio, a great inn in the town. The large inn for Comitati. Without delay, set yourself up there and have rest after the arduous journey. In an hour, everything is settled. Your beasts are stabled, your cargo is unloaded into the warehouse, and most of the crew is resting near already. Yay. Just as you're about to head into the common room and order a drink for yourself, Javik approaches you and draws you aside. Oh, the dog is here. Hey, doggo. Don't eat your paws, okay? Hey, don't eat your paws. Hey. Just go to sleep, dog, okay? Okay, he's gonna go and take a nap. Good doggo. The reason I don't want him to eat his paws in my bed is because he makes big old pools of saliva in there. Anyway. Where were we? Somebody wants to see us. I think. Yeah, Javik. There's someone here to see you, boss. Someone sent by our knightly friend. She says she wants to talk to you discreetly. She's waiting behind the stables. Javik says in hushed tones. It was foolish to think that you'd have to rid yourself of Sedarius and his agenda, even for a few hours, but you have little choice. Hear the messenger out. The woman waiting for you in the shadows behind the stables of the Mancio is wearing a large hood and a long cape over a dark grey, featureless tunic. As you approach, she throws the hood back, revealing the markings of someone in the service of Ashkol, god of death in the underworld. A face painted pale with dark eye shadow to give the impression of a skull. You suspect she is a novice attached to the Order of the Black Sun, or an acolyte of the Church of Ashkol. The woman looks at you furtively. There's nobody nearby, just you and Javik. Greetings from our mutual friend, the Knight Dominus. Greetings from our mutual friend, the Knight Dominus. That means lord or master in Latin. The young woman says quietly after looking at you in the eye. I was sent here to take you with him when you're ready. I'll wait here, just don't take too long. He's very eager to see you. From now on, you can visit Darius. Yay. Oh, before you go out, Javik draws you aside. He's our mind-reading super magician. It would seem that we'll stay here longer than we had expected. It occurs to me that such a delay would be a strain on our resources, and I rather doubt our knightly friend cares about that. You have also considered this. Javik goes on as you rub your chin thoughtfully. I was thinking we could smelt the scrap metal we bought. I know it would cost us, but hear me out. Not only does the smelted metal take us less cargo space, it would also allow us to sell a fraction of it for greater profit here. It is a loss in the long run, but we have to pay the crew, and if we are to tarry here, don't we? You have to admit he's making a lot of sense. You could smelt down the metal and sell some of the bars for an injection of coins if need be. And the need is B. The need is B. The two of you make ready to set out. Okay, now we have the city tutorial on how to act in a city. We now have access to the main show, which is an inn. We can, in the main show, there are inns, you can rest here. You can also see your own comitatus, your crew, you can hire and dismiss crew, and beasts. Rumors can be purchased here, passengers can be taken up, we can exchange news to get some free money sometimes. I'll just pick up some news. So, first things first, let's manage our comitatus. It's best to always travel as light as possible. Right now, we won't need any scouts for a couple of days. We won't need any fighters for a couple of days. We won't need as many workers or slaves while this happens. So if we fire all of them, well, our supplies will last longer, and we won't have to pay their wages. So let me just go and fire everybody. Fire. Fire. Undo the outrider. Fire. Okay, and how many slaves and workers do we need? Let's keep around 10 workforce. I prefer to have slaves over workers because you don't need to pay them, and they consume less supplies. Unfortunately, you do have to manage their obedience meter. So that's the downside. I think we can afford to fire all the workers. And we still have 10.45 workforce. That seems good enough to me. Okay, so now we have 2 days of supplies. Good, but I think we can do better. To do better, we would have to... Well, I can't really fire anybody else. Except the slaves. I could sell them and buy them later, but that will be at a loss in the long run, I think. Let's go around the town and see what we can find. If we can make some money, we can buy some more supplies. Supplies here are expensive. Let me get check on the market. Supplies here are 2 changers, 2 monies, which is double the usual price of supplies we can find out there in the world. Let me just sell the hides, which we need to do. There we go. Scrap metal here is in demand, but I think it's more... I don't know for a fact, but I think it's more valuable to smelt your scrap metal and sell the individual bars of metal you get from it. We'll see. Let's go around the town and explore. On the tip of the molten tongue, guarding the arid smolder-bone flats, lies the imperial city of Avernum, behind its sun-scorched walls of bone and dark stones. The many forges told here... there's a prefectus who commands the black-hearted Avernus Legion from the imposing Slag Fort. Many comitati, merchants, and grifters flock to Avernum in the hopes of finding trade, rest, or work. Often only cruelty and dark deals await them in the corrupt city under burning skies. Well, let's explore the city. You walk the streets of the city under the ashen skies, taking a few of your best with you. Avernum is large, a city of opportunities, but also of untold dangers. One can find all sorts of interesting things if one looks. Go for a walk. Korea is known as a very dangerous neighborhood, yet you decide to have a little stroll here, to see if any opportunities are coming your way. You have just finished looking around, and unfortunately you haven't found anything useful, when 2 burly men step in front of you in a quiet alley. Look at this, mate, them merchants walking around on our turf with no express permission from the Collegium. And a kind of guild, often associated with organized crime, right? But we have to take some coin to make up for that mistake, and when I say some, I mean all of it. The men are well armed for a street fight. You notice as Javik and Morin reach for their weapons. $20 is kind of expensive. Let's fight. I have gotten, I hope at least that I've gotten better at, oh boy, at heroic combat. We'll see. Companion fights. First want to boost the defense, then boost the defense even more. That should help. Morin. I should have given them some upgrades, but too late for that now. Okay, they're gonna waste their turns. I think it's better for us to just use an hypnotism and make them switch around. If I go here, and I have her strafe down here, we can dodge the next hit of the guy over there. You move away, and they're gonna have to waste their turns coming to us. While we just rest. I guess not. They're gonna shoot us. Okay, well that's bad. Down he is. That was fast. Revive. And let's kick this guy. If all we do is kick, we should be able to win, I think. Keep kicking. You buff again. Okay, let's do something else. Let's try and get a slinger to do something stupid. Like... Nah, let's kill the guy with the... Nah, kill the guy with the bones. If we can kill him, I think we win. At least I hope so. Alright. Keep going. Get him. Okay, and now we go for the sling guy. Ow. Hey, come here. Okay. Bonk him. Good. What's he gonna do? Move again. That's good. It means if you can put him in the first row, he can't attack, I think. We want to take the least amount of damage possible. If that's possible. Okay, you forfeit. You bonk. Okay. At least we won. Could have been better, though. One thug lies dead and the other scampers away as Morwen shouts curse at him. Yet there is no point in pursuing the ruffians. If indeed there were Collegium men, it is best to disappear as fast as you can. Bystanders and gladiators of the alley clap and hoot as you leave, taking the purse of the fallen bandit with you. Yay, 4 money points. I mean, that's better than nothing, but... could have been worse. Let's go to the Slag Fort. The official place for business. The mighty Slag Fort is the headquarters of the city guard, the Vagrus Legion, and the Prefectus himself. The fort overlooks the city from atop a hill on the south side, its main tower looming threateningly above the streets close by. Made entirely of the same kind of dark stone, the Slag Fort is completely black now thanks to the layer of soot that covers its surface. Scrutinized briefly by the grim legionnaires of the gate, you enter the courtyard of the fort, which houses a few institutions of the public can visit: the office of the city guard, the courts, and the bounty offices. You can report to Darius to the Vagrus Legion to get rid of him. Sounds unwise. Go to the bounty office. The bounty office is housed in a small, dilapidated building behind the courts. A group of unsavory types is awaiting in front of it to be called in. Bounty hunters, mean-looking trophies, and cruel weapons hang from their belts. You wait in line to speak to the general bounty officer and get in after a quarter of an hour. A diminutive, guy with glasses, the bureaucrat gives you a boring speech on the bounties that are available. You figure there's no point in competing with the local hunters for city bounties, but the ones out in the wastelands are your turf. There's a bounty in especially large Jakra. It appears that there's an overgrown monster that leads its lesser kin against travelers and outposts in the desert south of here. Who knew that Jakras can figure out social hierarchies of all things? Yet we cannot let this miraculous evolution continue, and thus you should bring back the creature's head. Be wary that this little posse might be quite numerous by now. Understood? There's a pesky outlaw chieftain. I wonder what draws men to the life of an outlaw. Take Covius, for example. Well, he was a fine gladiator with a great reputation. What a dashing fellow, I thought. What decapitations. And what does he do? He runs away with a bunch of gladiators and lowly slaves to live out there in the searing heat of the desert, preying on honest citizens such as yourself. It really escapes me how it's better than here. But if you can't teach his kind, I suppose he's just a sharduck. People who are from the desert. Desert people. And as much as we adored him in the arenas, sands outside the arena shall run red with his blood for his crimes. And you shall be his executioner. Bring his head intact. Though I mean the office will perhaps want to keep him around. Yup. And there's a roaming undead abomination. Undead, silly expression. Should it be unlive? Sorcerous reanimations or not, they are corpses, not more. But enough of semantics. There's a particularly nasty creature that roams around the southern edge of the Molten Tongue and attacks on sight. It has caused some grief among the travelers who run afoul it. The Udvar can't or won't do anything about it. Another village of sane people. So it's up to us again to set things right. That creature belongs under the earth, so it put it back there and brings back some of its parts to show me that the deed is done. Oh, and one more thing. It has this silly tendency to draw other unlive to itself, so it'll probably not be alone. Unlive. Yes, I'm going to use that from now on. I'm not gonna. Undead is better, I think. Let's leave. So we can only explore the city once a day. The Temple of Surgorod, the Vengeful God. Let me just check the entry, the Codex entry on Surgorod. If I can. If he's here. He's not. But I already brought it up. Surgorod. The god of vengeance, anger, malevolence, and curses. A member of the Triumvirate. One of the three gods of the Empire's official religion. He is regarded as the war god of the new pantheon, but in truth he's much more than that. His church is tasked with upholding the law in the cities, hunting down criminals, and delivering justice. This gives the Surgorites unprecedented power that is often abused. Most people who serve in the wars or come into contact with justice call upon the god of vengeance. And people who have been, who are vengeful. According to legend, Surgorod found the 12 just after the calamity and offered them his help in taking revenge on whoever caused the downfall of Imperial society. They accepted, even though the elder gods who caused the cataclysm had disappeared from this reality. It is the Raging One whose church fuels the war effort against the Green Continent in the north, and the constant investigations to potential internal threats. Also called the Master of Curses, Surgorod provides magical abilities to his most devoted followers, who can afflict others with debilitating curses and draw him blah blah blah. Surgorod is often depicted as a huge, bald, raging man. His priests shave their heads and paint it white, with black lines running vertically across each eye. Surgorod is closely tied to two of the Imperial pillars, the Knights of the Black Sun and the Outer Menace. His influence on the Knightly Order is especially strong. Some say they will become his own elite military instead of the originally sharp religious order between him and Ashkull. Let's read about this. This seems interesting. So, Surgorod appeared to the 12. Who are the 12? I think I read that before. Damn it. I don't want to click on these. The 12. Maybe the Calamity will help. The Calamity. The single most important historical event of the Empire, and given its far-reaching consequences in relation to divine beings, probably for the whole world. Best described as an arcane cataclysm of inconceivable proportions, the event demolished life and society on the continent of Zerine in a matter of days. In the millennium that followed, the Riven realms could not be healed. Towards the very end of the Third Age, the Empire had fallen into stagnation. Desperately holding onto their power, the rulers took measures that horrified the Elder Gods. In an attempt to quench the rebellious of faraway provinces, legions began to systematically wipe out thousands and thousands of the oppressed. There was a genocide against the Virani people. Eventually, the gods could no longer tolerate such horrors and descend from Mount Zine. It said their anger was so great that they went mad. In their madness, they toppled the Empire without regards to any living soul. They unleashed divine and arcane energies that raged for days, leveling cities, cursing regions, and even tearing holes in the fabric of reality. Finally, the gods came to their senses, and when they saw what they had done, they were broken by grief and left this reality never to return. Well, that sucks. The Emperor managed to protect the capital in the Heartlands, but he himself was thrust in a state of a comatose stasis and has slumbered so ever since. Reminds me of the God Emperor from 40k. The Apostles, his most trusted servant, were resurrected as deathless Lich Lords, who now took control of what was left and began to rebuild the Empire. The post-Calamity era is characterized by arcane anomalies that remain behind the cataclysm. Mutations occurs are common. Seasons do not exist anymore. Weathers are either harsh or outright inhospitable. I think the 12 that we saw in Surgorod's entry was about the Lich Lords, the Apostles. Though we don't have an entry for that yet. Let's read about monies. Changers, the least valuable coin. Changers are a type of coin used in the Empire and most often realm of the continent, made of carved bone, wood, glass, obsidian, or even pretty stone. These coins are the least valuable in the standard Imperial currency, so most people see a lot of them. Curiously, there's no standard for how they should look, but everyone knows if a coin is worth enough to be considered a changer. 10 changers are worth a single lurg. What's a lurg? Is the most commonly used minted coin in the Empire, and in other realms the continent of Zerine. A small, made of copper, and most people come into contact fairly regularly, even though the poor see it less often. The Imperial crest, laurels, and two-headed eagle are on one side, while usually senators or the aristocrats are on the other. The coin used to be called Lyragos, after the common coin of old Daramar, the forgotten pre-Empire kingdom of humans, where he bore the name of a mighty king. And then the brass, the most valuable coin. The brass is a small silver coin minted by the Empire, used extensively in both pre- and post-Calamity era. The Imperial crest, laurels around two-headed eagle, on one side, while Mercantus, saint of commerce and trade, is on the other. The brass is very valuable in the Fourth Age, which is this age, so most people see it very rarely, and almost never own it. The exception being the rich and most merchants, and we are a merchant of some kind, so we get to see it. Bros Corius was a man of the Third Age who was a close friend of the Saint Mercantus, and worked with the Senate to simplify the systems of many currencies that caused much chaos in the era. Originally called Denaris, that's from the actual Roman Empire, the coin was renamed after Bros by the Merchant Guild. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I want to know for now. How about the Emperor? Excuse me. Emperor Valen Zervaris, the immortal emperor, protector of the people, the deathless, the divine son of Zin, the king of elder gods, has been sovereign of the empire for over 2,000 years. Ever since his self-sacrifice during the calamity and his subsequent comatose state, he has been unable to rule. However, and thus his most trusted servants, the apostles, took on the burden of governing the empire in his name. It might also behooves any historians or lore masters to know that even before the calamity, his Imperial Majesty has been rather distant from state affairs and politics in general, and was mostly occupied with overseeing the construction of the Cathedral of Descendants in the capital, as well as various mysterious passion projects. Thus, the apostles were quite prepared for taking over in his absence. Imperial tradition states that the Golden Age had been going for over 1,000 years at the end of the Third Age. This exquisitely prosperous and blessed period occurred on behalf of the gods themselves. They were the one who guided Valen Zervaris, the immortal god emperor. No, the immortal emperor. Zervaris ascended to the imperial throne over 1,000 years before the calamity. Him not growing old, or in fact not aging at all, was not a natural phenomenon, and the people of the empire had started to grow suspicious at first. However, the clergy soon declared that Valen Zervaris is a direct descendant of the gods themselves, a son of Zin, the supreme god and king of the pantheon. The god emperor was thus seen as a demigod, and his popularity grew exponentially in the first few decades of his rule. Supported occasionally by the clergy, his divine majesty performed miracles on a daily basis. Refreshing political reforms, sensitive social engineering, economic boom, game-changing inventions, glorious military victory, and divine intervention were among the many things attributed to Zervaris. The true extent of his involvement is impossible to say today, but there is no doubt that under his rule, the empire rose to the greatest power in the whole world. The emperor started to withdraw from public life after the first 700 years of his rule, and was occupied with mysterious projects for the betterment of this empire. He was absent during the centuries prior to the calamity, and only appeared to defend the people of the capital and the heartlands when the elder gods struck. His self-sacrifice saved most of the regions from arcane destruction, but the inconceivable magical energies harmed him so badly he fell into a stasis and has not woken up ever since. Most Imperials believe that the day will come when he will wake again and lead the empire to a new golden age. Until then, he is slumbering in the Cathedral of Ascendance, the very site of his stand against the treacherous elder gods, and only the 12, as well as the highest-ranking Ashkal priests, can see him. Okay, let's stop here for now. And go to the Temple of Surgoad, which is what started us on this whole Codex journey. The temple complex of Surgoad in Avernum is quite small compared to most Imperial cities, but is still a menacing sight to behold. Built of dark stone, clearly not from around this place, the buildings are covered with spikes and blades that reach towards the ashen sky. Furious-looking gargoyle, as well as sculptures of Surgoad in the form of a powerful warrior in spiked armor. Oh, the dog wants to leave. I'm speaking too much for him. Go, doggo. Get out of here. Eat. There he goes. Let me drink some water. I'm getting thirsty from all the reading. Oh, I think I'm gonna run out of water eventually. Anyway, so spikes reach toward the ashen skies. Furious-looking gargoyles, as well as sculpture of Surgoad, and a powerful warrior in spiked armor riddle the frontispiece. That's the if you can see over here the temple, the little temple thingy here. There's the columns, and this little triangle. I think that's the frontispiece. I think. I learned all these architectural terms in French classes, so maybe I'll get confused with all the English words for them, but I'm pretty sure that's what this means. So over this little triangle bit here, there's a sculpture of Surgoad and gargoyles. Inside, darkness covers all, and only red candles provide some meager light. Novices chant in shadowed alcoves, their grumbling voices adding to a constant angry prayer. A priest steps out in the pitch dark and stops you. His painted face of black attire gives you the shivers. What is it you ask of Surgoad, the Raging One, Lord of Vengeance and Master of Curses? A modest contribution to the church, and you shall receive the power of retribution. $7! I mean, that's not too bad. Ask Surgoad to grant you power in return for a sacrifice, if of a mount. Curse your enemies. Deliver the belonging of Sedaris' dead companions. They were members of the Surgoad church. Would you give them all the looted weapons and armors, or only the holy symbols? Well, obviously only the holy symbols. The priest growls a short blessing and assures you that Surgoad will not forget you returning the belongings to his lost servants. Okay, so now we can have the power for free. I'm not going to inform the High Priest about his dealings because I think Sidarius is suspecting the church to be in on the conspiracy. Meet Skornar. We had a package to deliver here in exchange for getting some cheap scrap metal. It was to this fellow called Skornar. Levinus's watering hole is one of the most notorious establishments of the disreputable district of called Scoria. There's no sign of a inscription to let you know that the decrepit building at the back of the alley is a tavern, but the putrid smell of cheap booze makes it quite clear nonetheless. You nod to the orc bouncer and enter through the small doorway. The inside of the place is no better. Dirty lichen hangs from a low ceiling, the walls are sticky, and your eyes are watering thanks to the thick smoke. Dozens of local derricks and are hunched over the clay tankers. A quick talk with the tainted bartender. There are humans who contacted or were born with the magical disease called the taint. The taint begins with a period of incubation when the victim falls gravely sick and suffers seizures and spells for days or weeks. About half of them perish. The transformation starts after a day or so following the initial seizure, and the changes remain for life. Though in some rare cases, further changes manifest later. Symptoms are always physical, but are often paired with serious mental disorders, either through the traumatic nature of the transformation or the nature of the taint itself. Nobody knows for certain. The most common symptoms include skin color and texture changes, fleshy growths, boils and scars, and large or shrunken body parts almost never symmetrically. And the merging of the physical aspects of different species, part beast, part human mutants, are fairly common. Oh my god, we're gonna have super ugly cat girls. Ever since the Calamity's mutation are all kinds of commonplace in the continent, a correlation between arcane powers unleashed by the Cataclysm and mutations have never been validated by sage or magic. Blah, 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 blah. There's no telling how it spreads or why it attacks the ones it does. These days, every third human on the continent is tainted. Children between the age of 8 and 16 contract the disease more often than adults. Children of the tainted are often born healthy, while healthy parents can produce tainted offspring. Though high society still shuns these unfortunates, they have become so common that most people don't even notice them, and a lot of the tainted can live full lives. Since apparently proximity does not aid the spread of the taint, pogroms against the tainted generally ceased all over Zerine a long time ago. Interestingly, no other races seems to contract the taint, although there's rumors of elves getting tainted and dying of it, or being killed by their own people. Dwarves do get mutations, and they end up being bestial, often slains. Alright, so that's what the taint is. Super AIDS, magical AIDS. That makes you go crazy, or something. Sometimes. Let's talk to our contact, deliver his package. A sleepy-looking Jamahan guard. What is that? Jamahan? What is that? I don't know. Okay, well, too bad. A Jamahan guard lets you into the back room through a curtained doorway, but Javek has to stay outside. Inside, several motley individuals are playing cards. One of them, a tall man with red hair and a beard, rises and sends the others out of the room with a wave of his hand, while offering a seat to you at the table. You take a moment to look up each other and down before you comply. Skornar is a large man with broad shoulders, long limbs, and a thick red beard, contrasted by his boyish handsomeness. Ooh. He is clearly not of imperial origins, but if you had to guess, you'd say he wasn't born on the continent. Foreign symbols will cover his arm and neck in the form of tattoos. He's wearing a bronze breastplate, and the white-gray fur of a predator is covering his shoulders. An impressive bearded axe with an iron head leans against the wall next to him. It's important to note the iron head because in this world, metal is really, really, really precious. For example, my companion Morwen has a bone axe instead of a metal axe. He makes no threatening move, yet you can feel he is a dangerous man. Welcome, Vagrus. I'm the one called Skornar the Blue-Faced, he says. You do not mention that his face appears to be human color. I've been expecting someone with a delivery. He sits down across you and pours you drinks. Can I have it now? There we go. Get some XP. Skornar smiles mischievously as he unwraps the small leather package and carefully observes a golden ring decorated with silver symbols. He wraps it again and pockets the package. Just checking if it's genuine, more than a craftsman's sake than yours, he says upon seeing your quizzical expression. He salutes you with his own mug and drinks up. You join him. I'm grateful to you, friend, for your part in this. I'm sure Narbo compensated you somehow, however, you might want to do business with me later nonetheless. You'll find I can help you with a lot of things in the city. I have to leave now, but I'll see you around, aye? Well, that Skornar leaves the room, through a side door, and you join Javik. Okie dokes. So that's that. Package delivered. Here we can go back if we need to talk to him. A sorcerer. A powerful sorcerer lives in the Villa district. Spooky. The Tower of Incanus, the sorcerer, stands at the border of the hill, overlooking the streets and the alleys. That might either this tower here or this tower here. There's not that many towers. Okay, overlooking the streets and alleys filled with foundries and forges on the northern side of Avernum. Half engulfed in smog, the tower stands much taller than any building nearby. The soot-covered wall made of black stone are so smooth that it almost looks seamless. A line of gigantic fang-like spikes cover the flat top of the tower. You walk up to the iron gate where a large eye carved out of obsidian comes alive and gives you a good stare before emitting a strange moan and becoming motionless again. Ugh. The gates open slowly to reveal a spacious antechamber that you enter. The roof is supported by black, smooth stone pillars. Magical lights float sleepily around like fireflies. There are sofas and chairs here, enough to sit a dozen guests in great comfort. Somehow the place feels odd. It is many times larger on the inside than it should be, judging from the outside. Dear God, it's a Pokemon house. The imposing figure of Incanus stands motionless in the center of the antechamber and greets you with a monotone voice. You can't figure out if he's bored or simply lacks emotions in general, but he's courteous and very perceptive. You can only feel his piercing gaze from under the large hood of his crimson robes. There's something on your mind, Vagrus, something you hope I'll provide a solution for, and you know that I'll have a price. The last pilgrimage. There are super ghosts that were following us around on our journey here. The sorcerer hesitates only a little before motioning with his long-fingered hand for you to sit down. You comply. Something tells me that you have had an encounter with this cavalcade of spirits. Tell me about it, he says after he pockets your coin and sits down for himself. You carefully recite your chance meetings with the last pilgrimage. Every now and then, Incantus interrupts you to ask very specific questions about your experience with the specters. He seems especially interested in your vision that triggered when the undead procession was near. Incantus stays silent and motionless for a long while after you finish telling a story. At length, he stares and asks you in a rasping voice, "What exactly would you like to know?" Let me first read the entry about the pilgrimage. The last pilgrimage. There it is. The last pilgrimage is a magical phenomenon and one of the great mysteries of the Fourth Age. Originally, a group of pilgrims walked in penance to the capital. They were turned into a host of wandering specters that haunt the forsaken reaches of the Empire. Appearance. Nobody knows what the undead pilgrim looked like, as no one lived to tell the tale of a close encounter. People have seen them from afar as survivors saw pale, eerie white-yellow lights that surrounded a large group of walking dead. The spectral wanderers seem to be constantly followed by tempestuous winds that usually create a sand or dust storm around the pilgrimage. It is said that in the last months before the calamity, a group of high-ranking priests of the pantheon of the Elder Gods started to see a pattern in the strange phenomenon that began to appear sporadically all over Zerine. They interpreted it as an omen from the gods and realized that their creators were displeased. To appease them, they set out in a humble pilgrimage from the city of Toph. Other sources name other cities, and plan to walk all the way to the capital, and upon reaching it ask for an audience with the Emperor. These rich high priests cast away their earthly belongings and walked barefoot. Many joined them on the way, clerics and simple folks alike. After weeks of walking, the omens became more intense, and finally the calamity struck. According to legend, it caught the last pilgrimage then swollen by thousands of people. Out in the open, somehow south of Devon, the cataclysm did not kill them but turned them into cursed undead, forever bound to their futile pilgrimage, forever seeking to reach the capital which will always be out of their reach. There is no apparent rhyme or reason behind the appearance and disappearance of the last pilgrimage. It seems completely random. Alright, thanks. So what is it? Oh boy, it's gonna retell us the same thing. This pilgrimage was initiated just before the calamity according to legend. They say that weeks of odd and deadly omens preceded the catastrophe itself. Rain of blood, purple skies, weird apparitions, visitations from the dead, that kind of phenomena. Initially less in frequency and intensity, the omens were taken as divine warnings by all. However, the interpretations of these signs differed vastly. One group of high priests believed that the Elder Gods sent them because Imperials strayed from the right path somehow, that they incited the wrath and the gods as to be appeased. Thus they converged in the north, either in Toph or Mortakpolis, ruins of a land, in the middle of no man's land. Okay. Nobody knows for certain, and they gathered around a vast procession of followers and the lesser clergymen around them. The priest then announced that in order to earn the forgiveness of the gods, they were to walk to the capital and pray along the way. They cast down all their rich garments and trinkets and set out, barefoot and full of hope. And Canon holds a dramatic pause. Yet their hopes and prayers were in vain. As the pilgrimage gained followers by the thousands, when they proceeded south along the Emperor's Road, the calamity struck. Most of their pilgrims died in agony as the cursed winds tore their flesh out of the bones and rived their souls. But the priests endured. I did not say lived on purpose. Twisted and reanimated by the dark powers of the cataclysm, they rose again as undead abominations and continued their journey. Only now they appear and disappear without any discernible logic and move in strange angles as a ghastly procession of specters. They are doomed to wander forever, never reaching their goal, never resting, never knowing peace, and never getting the forgiveness of the gods because those gods are dead and gone. You shudder under the sorcerer's gaze. How tragic. So what happens when they run into somebody? Now that they are cursed to wander the wasteland eternally, they appear suddenly and disappear shortly after. Most of the time, nobody knows where they are. But when they appear and come into contact with someone, that person is gone forever. Therefore, a clear account of such a meeting is non-existent. One theory suggests that such unfortunate individuals are assimilated into the pilgrimage and wander as disembodied spirits, walking the same eerie path as the tormented souls of the original pilgrims. Others suggest that the cavalcade sustains itself by drawing on the life essence of its victims. Nothing of them is ever found afterward. How do we know this? Sometimes people were able to observe such encounters from a safe distance. The last pilgrimage was known to have destroyed fairly large comitati, so they do not only attack small groups or individuals. Naturally, the number of their victims is vastly overstated. There are studies of these beings, studies that collected all the reports of their appearances throughout the centuries following the cataclysms. It seems that they never appear south of the Twin Towers. Fortifications, which they failed to reach while alive. It is also quite clear that, given the short time between encounters at distant locations, the last pilgrimage travels via magical means. The most popular notion is that some sort of teleportation because nobody has ever encountered them in the Outer Realms. Infinite dimensions, multiverse, another dimension. Okay, we'll read about it later. However, they do have a tendency to haunt the specific regions or areas for a while before moving on. Icarus leans back in his chair and holds his hand. There never was anyone who met the pilgrims twice so closely and lived. I find that extraordinary. Even though it's cold in here, you're sweating. Is it possible that they're following you? I mean, us. That is the question, isn't it? Incanus scratches his scrawny beard with skeletal figures. This is quite spooky. You know, I think this game is quite a Halloween appropriate. All information collected by the wise throughout the centuries, as well as anecdotal accounts, tell us that the appearance of the pilgrimage is completely random, and there was never been anyone recorded who encountered them twice, not even madmen who were looking for them. When you told me that the 2 times you met the pilgrims I was skeptical, yet I can see that you're telling the truth. There are 2 possibilities. One was indeed chance, however minuscule that you happened upon them a second time. The chances of a third encounter are negligible. The 2, they were roaming a specific region, in this case the Black Desert. I think this is the actual translation of this word is the Black Place or the Black Area, but we just call it the desert, you know, as a shortcut. Unless I don't know my Latin correctly. I tried to get a Bible, not a Bible, a dictionary. No, it was called the Bible of Latin, but it actually is a dictionary to translate some of these words, but in the end it was just translating from Latin to French. So in the end I just look up words on the phone instead. Because there is practically nobody in that region, they converge on this only living thing nearby, Eucomitatus. In any case, I'd avoid the desert of the Black Sands and its border ranges for a while, if I were you. Thank the gods for surviving two such chance meetings. Okay, let me drink some more water because I'm getting thirsty. I'm gonna have to go and refill my water gourd at this point. Anyway, more spooks. Let's go, Halloween, baby. Halloween early. Can we defeat them? Let me answer my question with another question. Incanus leads forward. If it was possible, why do you think no one has ever managed to do so? Okay. What could my visions mean? No account of your encounters with the pilgrimage that can recall speaks of vision. Only apparitions and airy lights. Yours and that of your companion seems to be a unique reactions. I wonder if it has anything to do with your telepathic companion. The sorcerer glanced at Javik, who was standing a few yards away, leaning at a pillar. Unlikely, your friend says. At our second encounter with these beings, I was busy holding our beasts of burden from running away with my mind. So I did not see any visions at all. How could it be connected to me if I was the only one not seeing anything? I concur, Incanus nods and turns back to you. Unfortunately, dream visions and phantasms are not in my area of expertise. I suggest you seek out an oneromancer, a dreammancer, or a shaman perhaps. The Sadar tribes to the south and west have shamans who are said to communicate with the elements and spirits of the world. It may be that such a person could tell you more. Okay, that is all. We got plus 5 XP. I think we also got some XP for all the, yeah, more XP for all the codex entries we've got. Any items you want? Bone necklace, jade figurine, energy crystal, dwarven compass, looking glass, amulet of protection. a dragon egg, demon horn, dwarven gadget. Alright. And identify something for you. Nothing to identify. Okie dokes. Next, the Temple of Ashkull, the god of the underworld. Excuse me, let's look him up. Church of Ashkull, Church of Surgorod. Ashkull. There it is. The king of the underworld and the god of death. A member of the Triumvirate, the official religion of the Empire. His church is the strongest in the Empire, justifying the notion that the Imperials have become a death cultist. Nah, they're just Halloween fans. Come on, guys, don't be so harsh. It's Halloween it's Halloween every day in the Empire, baby. It is also the least corrupt of the religious institution by far, and the disciples of the Grim Lord are reputed for their silence, discreet manners, and grim empathy. Ashkull is believed to be the first being ever to have truly died, and thus is theorized to have been around much longer than his appearance right after the calamity. His church is tasked with facilitating all funerals, burials, and with the overseeing of graveyards and crypts. At times of war, the risen legions of Ashkull, called to unlife by the great... Oh, unlife again. That's what the official in the fort was calling them. Unlived instead of undead. Called to unlife by his death priests and necromancers make up the backbone of the Imperial armies. According to legend, Ashkull contacted the 12 just after the calamity, offered them help in rebuilding the fallen empire. They accepted it, and the king of the underworld has been their closest ally ever since. Some folks even claim that he had a hand in resurrecting the apostles as liches, even though this miracle has been attributed to the emperor in dogma. With so many dead due to the calamity, Ashkull and his following took upon themselves to give proper rest and relief to these tortured souls. Even these days, the dead are respected by Ashkullites, and without proper rites, their souls are said to remain behind in the Riven realm, suffering for eternity, instead of taking his place in Tartarus, the underworld of imperial religion. The gigantic necropolises of the south provinces are looked after by Ashkullites. Ashkull priests have power over life, they're necromancers. Without priests and necromancers, the risen dead are only husks controlled by malevolent instincts, so they are needed when undead are used in workforce or fighters in the legions. Undead without an independent mind that are not... undead without an independent mind that are not controlled by a believer are sought out and destroyed. So undead people can have self-awareness? I guess liches do count. Okay, so we can... Okay, good to know, good to know. Also, the dog is going to be barking. Hey, doggo. Get out of here. Go back to barking. Okie dokie. The king of the underworld is depicted as a tall, robed man with a skull, face, and a hood. Sometimes he holds a sickle, other times he stands on a pile of bones. Ashkull's temple looks like a great crypt of blah 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 blah. Okay. The god of death, basically. And necromancy. Doesn't seem that evil compared to Surgorod, the god of vengeance and curses. The Temple of Ashkull, king of the underworld, is a smaller one, but the necropolis around it makes up for it in the size. The whole district is quiet and looked almost deserted. Yet the other sides of the temple grounds, it really astonishes you. Glum-looking novices in grey tunics work without a word. Robed priests whisper to each other in alcoves and in corridors. Reanimated undead shuffle towards some unsaid task. The inside of the temple looks like a crypt, too, with many wall slots for bones. Even the depiction of the god of death itself is a standing stone or sarcophagus inside which is a statue of a giant robed skeleton. For all the gloominess, the worshippers of Ashkull tend to do the dead and dying with great care and are surprisingly open to questions and requests from visitors such as yourself. Hey guys, what about the bones in the city? Is this Halloween decorations? You walk up to the priest and ask him about the bones embedded in the city walls. Are they maintained by the followers of the god of death, seeing as how they are the remains of some long dead being? Is Ashkull not angry because these bones were not put to rest? The expression on the face of the robed priest is inscrutable, as he begins to talk in a monotone, calm voice. The great king is not offended, because not only do we tend to the bones, but they are considered to be resting. You see, these bones were brought from the plane of bones, where they were lying from who knows how long, unattended and forgotten. Now they have a purpose. These remains adorn and empower our walls. They might not be interred or burned to ash, but they were given proper rituals, and the great king gave permission for their use. It is no different from the way we use corpses on those who give us permission, and those who, well, enemies of the Empire. Necromancy was used to strengthen those bones too, and grim surprises awaits those who would be foolish enough to scale or attack those walls. Oof. Imagine this little skull just biting you while you're climbing the wall. How's necromancy? Okay, well, you know what? Let's keep the codex reading to a minimum. We'll read a whole bunch once we near the end of the stream. How about that? You thank the priest for explanations. I think we've read enough of this codex already. Okay, we're back. Guys, talk to me about Ashkull. You ask a friendly deaf priest to tell you about the king of the underworld. They are quite used to these requests, so he immediately shifts into a lecturing register. Ashkal is the god of death, king of the underworld, who we call Great King, for he is the greatest kings and rulers, ultimately ruling over all monarchs in death, except perhaps the emperor, who is thought deathless. The elder god of death was Tanat, who disappeared along with his pantheon after the calamity. Ashkal appeared and took over Tartarus, the afterlife realm, where the souls of the most mortals go after death. The Great King is thought to be the first of the dead because he is said to have died before any other being in creation. He has unmatched power over those that die. But Ashkal is not angry or evil, no. He is the caretaker of souls and the one that gives peace to mortals after they die. Our duty is to administer the proper rituals. Okay, what about the necromancy, though? Visit the Great Ossuary. The Great Ossuary is a system of labyrinthine tunnels and great dark halls carved into the earth and rock beneath the necropolis. Many of the more wealthy are entered here as it is believed that they are closer to Tartarus and Ashkal this way. Most of the ossuary is off limits, but a large section can be visited by the public. You walk through the vast halls lit by 1,000 candles. Reminds me of the catacombs from Paris, filled with the remains of tens of thousands. Most of these bones are carefully placed in racks built into the walls or on intricately carved stone slabs. Novices tend to the more recent or the oldest ones. The halls are kept very clean, the air is cool inside. You find yourself sitting on stone benches and walking aimlessly, reading long inscriptions of names and deeds carved into the arches that lead to private crypts. The whole place makes you calm and contemplative. Seems nice. Hey, I got some XP. I can buy some trinkets. Buy something you could use against undead abominations, which is what we're supposed to hunt for a bounty. The small group of priests you end up talking to about a ravenous undead abomination that haunts the region seems very worried. Undead are a cause for concern when not controlled by the priests of Ashkal or licensed imperial necromancers. They couldn't come up with a way to aid you in the quest, even though rampant undead are fairly common, and you get the feeling that they have long given up on trying to deal with all of them. The solution is a bone charm, specifically enchanted by them to disrupt uncontrolled undead in the vicinity for a few minutes, long enough for you to deal with it. For a small contribution to the clergy, you can get the charm and command the word to activate it. Oh, 6 monies. And I saw the sorcerer in the tower would buy it for 10 bucks. So it's gonna be... we can use it and sell it for a profit. Okay, well that's cool. What about the trinkets? You're directed by novices to a candlelit chamber with a very old priest is sitting at a stone table, carving intricate designs into candles of different colors. The priest looks up at you, and you gasps upon seeing that his eyes are soon shut. He smiles a toothless smile and tells you that you can buy all kinds of candles from him to honor the dead. When you tell him you'd rather buy something that aids the living, he reaches into one of the clay jugs here containing stacks of candles and puts a black one on the table. It is carved into the form of a robed and hooded skeleton. This is a candle that was blessed by the Great King. For 1 silver, it may protect someone if lit. That's not 1 silver though. Bleed resistance, magical resistance. And get a perk. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Okay, bye. Let's leave. What do we have left? Foundries and the fighting pits. And Sedaris' hideout. Well, my companions already fought today and they're kind of weak, so I don't think we can go to the fighting pit. Well, we'll go there, but we won't fight if we have the opportunity. Excuse me. The foundries. Avernum is a city of foundries and smelters due to its proximity to areas where ore can still be prospected or scavenged on the continent. Below the villa district, the streets between the walls and the central hills are stacked with metallurgists' shops and smithies. More than anywhere else in the city, the air is almost black with smoke that belches forth from the many chimneys and furnaces. It is unbearably hot here, yet many people flock to here to do business with the smelters and smiths. What is my business here? Smell down the arms and armors of the dead Surgarites. Just for 10 bucks. Deal. I get 1 iron, 1 bronze. Neat. Wait, no, I'm not done. Hey, go back. Smell the metal scraps to ingots. That's the metal scraps we've bought from the scrapyard. Smelting metal scraps will free up precious cargo space, as it's much easier to pack and store ingots, and you can sell those just as well when you get to Devon. You need to pay a small fee each time you smelt your scrap. Okay, let's pay a pretty big fee though. I want to smelt everything. Cargo space is at the premium in this game. It comes in really handy. Smelting yields iron, bronze, and copper from the scrap pile. And smelt some more. Is this economical? Oh, no, it's not. We get a batch discount if we smelt everything all at once. 1 iron. Oh, it's randomized. Look at that. We get different types of metals. I wonder if we get more or less money from that. I think we get more money. And talk to the smiths about equipment made of metal. You talk to the several smiths about how to make your carts move more resilient by reinforcing them with metal. Eventually you come to an accord. You'll provide the metal and a fee. It will take a few days to complete the task. Place an order for reinforced carts. I mean, sure. Okay. And the fighting pits. There isn't a real arena in Avernum, but no Imperial city could be imagined without at least a fighting pit. The one in the city is fairly large, however. Recently it has not seen a lot of fights in spite of public demand. You learn that no Lenistas, trainers of gladiators. But in the 4th Age, this term is specifically used for people who become professional gladiator managers. Alright. There's no gladiator manager who favors the place since a gladiator revolt has... There was a gladiator revolt a few months back, which left dozens dead and most pit fighters gone. Since then, the pit has been used for public executions only. This is about to change, however, as the new man in charge wants to see the place rise again. This might even give you the opportunity to have your companions fight in the pit, as they're giving the chance to anyone right now. How badly injured are my companions? I can't see. Okay, well. Let's bet on some fights. Today's bettings are open for the evening fight. You know nothing about the contestants, but you might get lucky. To your surprise, the fighters you place a bet on managed to down the opponent. Yay! 6 money points. Can I see my companions? Oh, hey. Companions. How badly injured are they? Pretty badly. How much insight do we have? 21! Let's spend it. Let's at least improve them. If we're not gonna fight now, we will later, and we can use the extra skills. From what I've played, I feel like Savage Kick, the upgrade, makes the enemy stunned, which is really interesting. It basically makes them lose 2 turns if you attack somebody with a melee profile, because they get pushed to the back and stunned. But we need... Okay, boop. A better regular attack, sure. And now we have 4 points of proficiency we can spend on stuff. Hunting sounds good. Hunting. And strong-minded. Boom. Done. Confirm. Yes. Yes. Aha! Got him. And Javek also. It's more efficient to spend points on your companion than it is to spend it on yourself, because if we spend 4 insights, we gain 12 I don't know, skill points, whereas if we were to spend them on ourselves, it'd be a 1-to-1 ratio. And the dog is barking. Let me close the door. Hopefully this helps with the sounds. Fingers crossed. Anyway, upgrade. Do we spend everything? Not now. I think the most efficient use of our points is to first have 1 skill in everything, because that's the cheapest it's ever going to be for the most effects. Okay, next we want to aim for our next upgrade. We want to... I think the buff upgrade is pretty good. It's gonna double the effectiveness of the buff we can use. What about the other things? Debuff the initiative. Debuffs initiative again. Or does more damage. Let's go for these 2. This one and this one. Perceptis 4, Strong-Minded 4. Bam. Bam. And 1 more level. Boop. Bam. Bam. And that's about it, really. I can't upgrade this. Okay, well, in that case, let's get some more skills. Healer is good. That's about it. Okay. Next. Why did I do that again? Oh yeah, because I wanted to check their vitality. We're going to heal. I pay you 13 coins per day. Dang. You're expensive, dude. I also want to boost our healing, so I'm gonna get a point of healing. We'll spend more points as we need them. Okay. Hopefully now we can heal pretty effectively. Let's go and talk with Sedarius, but first let me drink the rest of my water, because I'm getting thirsty from all the speaking. Okay, back to the main plot. So Darius' hideout is a tumbled-down set of stone buildings about a block away from the Temple of Surgorod. You can reach it by going into the enclosed courtyard of several houses, entering the cellars, and ascending to a well-hidden set of stairs. There's always a novice or 2 down in the cellar on guard duty. The apartment of Sedarius occupies is owned by the church, but a few know it Wait. The apartment occupies its own by the church, but few know its existence even among the anointed. It is usually used when they have someone to hide, which is fairly rare. It's not well furnished and quite dirty. The knight Sidarius usually sits at the decrepit table or paces back and forth like a black lion. Ask him to pay for my gate tax. Yeah, free money. Strong-minded and persuasion. Well, no, I can't spend points. Sorry, Sidarius, let me just go and persuade you to give me some free money. Persuasion. Strong-minded. Okay. Let's see this helps. Give me a couple of percentage points. And I don't have enough resource. Okay, we'll ask tomorrow. We'll ask for money tomorrow. How about that? Report. Let us begin, Vagrus. There's no time to waste. You can almost hear Sidarius' teeth grinding as the two of you talk about the investigation. He's clearly on edge after being powerless while confined to this hideout of his. He begins to explain the situation after you sit down. When I arrived here on the request of the order to root out the abolitionists plaguing the region, we assumed that there was no more we assumed that there are no more well-organized gangs laying ambushes on travelers out in the wastelands. Perhaps some idealists or bored aristocrats in the city aided the escaped slaves that joined their ranks, but nothing more. A nuisance. Now, I am absolutely sure that quite a lot of powerful people are involved in this whole mess, since they had the audacity and resources to set a trap for my contingent. That required coordination between the slaves and the slave lovers. Therefore, I conclude that the people my initial investigation involved had to have been in cahoots with the abolitionists. You need to find them and learn all you can about what they are hiding. Because we are dealing with powerful people, you need to apply subterfuge. There are 3 sources you have to investigate. These 3 targets will all close to the lead that guided us to the ambush up north. Who's the first target? Our first suspect is Assistant Magistrate Galudius Darrow. He was the one assigned to my cohort when we took up the investigation. He coordinated the local law enforcement and served as a mouthpiece for the prefectus and his magistrate. I have no doubt that he has to be involved in some way. Getting to him would not be easy, but I figured it was something related to me and my contingent fate would pique his interests. Therefore, go to the Stag Fort and report to officials that you have information about my fate. That will almost certainly get you an audience with Darrow. Tell him that you've come across signs of battle in the remains of Surgorites. Jeez. Surgorites. I'm just gonna call it that. When you ask if he was a knight of the order among them, tell him no. You ask him what the purpose of this would be, other than to alerting him and his fellow conspirators. You do not have the power of the priest of Surgor at your disposal, but you do have the next best thing, he says with a predatory smile, and looks at Javik. Your friend stirs and seems uncomfortable, but nods. I can read his mind. This topic will surely divert his thoughts on the matter, making the scan much easier. Second target. A centurion, Vardis Pengius. A drunkard fallen from grace. The old soldier was key to the lead we got in our initial investigation. He had been tasked with leading a patrol in the north reaches, between the Black Desert and the Molten Tongue. According to his report, they found tracks out in the rough terrain and followed them to the Voiceless Lake. There they stumbled upon a sizable camp hidden in some ravine. They turned back because they were severely outnumbered, and Pendius knew that the camp was either outlaws or a liberated tribe. When they were leaving, they got ambushed. Only 3 soldiers survived, but only Pendius made it back, conveniently. Pendius is now enjoying his leave on duty. I need to get to him stinking drunk and deftly question him about these matters. I'm sure that his report is completely fake, but he may let slip of what made him lie in the courts. He's regular of the Rusty Pugio. The third target. The Smelters Collegium. Word is they run half the city, especially its criminals. They were not directly involved in the plot, but whoever armed the abolitionists must have done it through them. Also, whatever the damn slave lovers take from the comitati that fall victim to them has to go through the city's black market, also run by the Collegium. They never talk to a Surgorodite, but they would talk to you. See what you can learn from them, but be prepared that they'll be clever or they'll get suspicious. So this puts a copper coin on the table. There should be more than enough for bribes. Use your gal, your sorcerer's telepathy, or whatever, I don't care. Just learn from them as much as you can about the abolitionists' contacts in the city. One of their headquarters is the tavern called the Gallows Anvil. Okie dokes. Hey, money! At least we're gonna do this for free. Let's ask him about everything, because whenever we learn some new things in the codex, we have a chance. Every 10 thing we learn of in the codex, we get to some XP, so. About his mission. There's nothing new to tell. I and my companions were sent in search of enemies of the Empire to smoke them out in their hideouts that supposedly led there. It was to be the last glorious battle at the end of a long investigation that took months, but we were betrayed. Now I'm certain that a cruel trap was set for us. Okay. What do you think of Avernum? Imperial city with a dubious reputation. Enemies of the Empire would always reach for an opportunity to slander its greatness. I must confess that after the snarment of a slaughter of my contingents, I give more credit to rumors of corruption and treason here. About your past. You know everything you ought to already. I'm a Knight of the Order of the Black Sun. I was chosen for training by the Order because of my former display of prowess in the army, my loyalty to the Empire, and my many bloodlines. My noble bloodline. I'm a nobleman, though once we joined the Order, that matters little. My mentor at the Order of the Black Sun was a Knight of great provenance, for which I am grateful to Sir Gorod. What else would you like to know? Should I enlighten you about the workings of my family? Tell you about my first sweetheart? Feed you secrets involving Imperial politics? Don't be absurd, Vagrus. I would not do such a thing even if we were friends. Aw, we're not friends. The power of friendship is better than the power of vengeance. About the Knights of the Black Sun. The Order is one of the pillars of the Empire. We're adherents of Sir Gorod and Ashkel. We're the best of the best. Okay, thanks. And the details of the investigation. Okay, whatever. Can we investigate? Investigate. You said to follow up on one of the leads. Let's go to the bar and get somebody drunk. Try this. Oh, wait. Well, first, let me level up my persuasion and deception and whatever. Persuasion seems like the most useful of all these. Okay. Investigate. Let's go over to the Centurion who's in the bar. I think it's the easiest of all of them. The Rusty Pugio is a very clean establishment, with primarily soldiers and veteran regulars. Because of this, not many shady fellows visit the place. That does not mean, however, that the regulars are well-behaved or sober. You can see legionnaires passing on the bench while a few auxiliary troopers are playing dice game in the far corner, laughing and swearing loudly, foully. You have the barman Vardis Pendius is here, and he points you to a swarthy, short, pot-bellied man in his 40s, wearing the dirty armor and uniform of a centurion. His helmet rests next to him on the bar. He's drinking alone. Javik, can you spy on his mind? Javik concentrates briefly while looking in the general direction of the centurion. He sighs for a few seconds and turns away. Can't do it, boss. He's drunk, which means his thoughts are being behind a kind of fog. Even if he wasn't, I can't find specific things. I can only read what he's thinking about. You need to guide him to think about the patrol, and even so, there's no guarantee that my abilities will be useful here. Bartender, can you help me out? The bartender leans closer as you gesture to her, a large shoulders and a legionnaire tattoo indicating she's a veteran. You carefully tell her that you wish to spice up Pendius's drinks, but mean him no harm. Her eyes narrow, and the scar on her cheek twists into a wicked smile. Good luck with that old boozer if you think you can get him smashed, but why would I help? Pretty please? Oh, 50% persuasion. Okay. Ha! 98% chance to succeed. You take the first mug of spiced up booze to the Centurion. Vardis Pendius eyes this drink suspiciously, but his alcoholism gets the better of him, and giving you a friendly smile, he takes it. And what do I owe this gift, friend, fellow soldier? You don't look like that to me. He slurs his words as he eyes you up and down. The two of you start to chat, while Javik's sitting at the table in line of sight. You know you have to bring the conversation to the patrol he went on near the molten tongue, so that your friend can read his thoughts. Damn it, doggo. Pendius is already more than tipsy from the spiced up booze, but he's still a little wary. This takes the perks of con. We don't have any con skill. And a bit of savvy. Or savvy and con. Okay, well, that's kind of cheap. Well, let's use the booze. Just $2. Could you buy him spiced up drinks so that he's drunk enough to outsmart? Bam. Got him. 70% chance to succeed. Pendius has formidable resilience when it comes to booze, yet you manage to get him blind, stinking drunk. You also guide a conversation to his notorious patrol to the north that only he survived. Not even his intoxication can hide his fear when he talks about the recon mission. Not what you think it was. Those poor boys deserved not this, he laments. You could swear that there are tears in his eyes. He mumbles about the whole affair not being what it seemed. Soon afterward you excuse yourself, but by then Pendius is non-coherent anyway. You go back to the Mancio, where Javik tells you he was mostly successful in reading the drunkard's thoughts on the patrol. He's clearly paranoid about the whole matter. He recalled his comrades being killed, but not out there in the wastes. It happened in some kind of death trap in a large room. All young recruits. I think they publicly set up a patrol only to kill it off everyone but him, and told him to pretend it got started by the abolitionists in the north. Doggo, why? Basically, they created a fake story to make our nightly associate and his cronies think that they were going to find a camp there. I think maybe there's like people working on the street or something. It boggles my mind how far they went to protect something. He kept thinking about Scoria, the district here in town. Maybe the massacre was done here? Alright. And now we can only investigate on another day. Yep. So we'll have to stay here for quite a while. So, let's manage our resources. We have 2 days of supplies, but I think we can stretch it to 3 days if we skimp out a bit. We have our stacks of bars of metals. I don't want to sell them all right now, but we should at least have a bit for money purposes. So if we had sold the scrap metal, we would have made 168 bucks. Okay, I'm gonna go and ask the dog to kindly shut up. Excuse me for a sec. Okay, I asked nicely if he's gonna shush up. Shush up. Shush up. So if we had sold scrap metal on its own, we'd have made 168 bucks. But if I sell like a bronze, we make 190 bucks. A copper, we have 165. Iron, 5. Okay. We want to sell it slowly because I think we can make way more money from these in other settlements. Since here, these are actual trade goods we're supposed to buy to sell to some other places. We need enough money at least to pay the wages. Let's sell a bit of copper. We have 500 bucks. There we go. I could buy some more equipment. Extra storage is going to be useful. That's 300 bucks, but it's useful. Quality tools for more workforce. Animals, flea vigilance. Vigilance during camping. Hunting animals for more hunting chance. Chase, combat strength. Mining equipment, perimeter alarms, protected harnesses. Ooh, less consumption by the beast of burden. This is a harness category. Oh, we already have that. Sorcery, awnings. I don't know where they go. Category harnesses, defense. Harnesses, defense. Arms, sorcery, lamps, tools. Harness. So we have to replace the awning. Less consumption for workforce and slaves. Or less consumption for the beast of burden. 10%. Let's make the calculation. 10% for every slave. That means we'd lose one consumption. Or 10% consumption for the beast of burden, we'd lose 3 consumption. So I feel like the beast of burden one is more useful. Boop. Okay, let me sell the awnings. Next, the extra storage is going to be really useful. It'll make you, every 20 points of cargo, you get an extra slot. And slots are like the most important thing, so buy it. Equip it. Hunting animals are pretty useful because hunting is really, really, really important. If you can hunt successfully once, you get lots of money's worth of supplies. Armament, fighter combat strength, scout combat strength, archer combat strength. Let's go for the hunting animal. I just need to sell some more stuff. Let's keep selling copper. It's cheap, and we can free up one of our slots like this. Please equip it. Thank you. Okay, that should be good enough, I think. We have the supplies to rest. We should be consuming less supplies now. Can I see how many supplies we consume per day? In total? No. 35, 39, 40... Let's see, 41, 46, about 50 per day. That seems... 50 per day is less than we used to. I think we used to go for 80 per day. That's pretty good. And we have the Wandering Old Man still with us, eating up our supplies. Okay. To the main show. We have some rumors. There's bounties. Why are there so many bounties? Hidden outposts, bounties of fire. These are always useful to buy. Bop, bop, bop. Bop. Let's see, all the rumors. Hey, we have new stuff on our chart. I think we got these 2 villages revealed on our chart because of these rumors I just bought. Rumors. Yeah. There's There's a talk of a bunch of bounties. You should visit the Stag Fort. Well, that's a waste of money. Okay, cool. Hidden outpost. According to locals, there's a 30 hidden trading outposts in the flats about 2 days due southeast, run by some trading house. There may be business opportunities there. Bounties of fire. Asking the right people about the market reveals that the tribe dwelling the oasis values metal greatly. There's a profit to be made. Hey! So we want to avoid selling our metal here. We want to sell it to these guys down there. And also we want to keep some because technically this entire venture is meant to sell metals in another city specifically, so I can keep like 5 iron. That's like $50 or more. Anyway. Passengers, this guy wants passage to the Oasis. I mean, that's pretty good. He pays well too. Only consumes 1 supply. $18. We have to take 18 days to get there without making a profit. Anyway, let's rest. Can I sell my mounts? Let's see. 3 consumption every time. Every day. So that's $6. No, we won't make... If we sell our mounts now, we won't make the money back, I think. So let's not do that. Okay, rest. Okay, so we can either sleep on the floor, sleep in a mansion, which is going to be quite cheap, and we get a whole bunch of stats, or enjoy all the hospitalities for even more money. For $4 more. We get more morale and more nutrition. If I sleep in all the hospitalities, can I go at half rations? Either we're going to be hungry. How much money do I save if I go there? We currently eat 28 rations. Which is about $28. So I saved $20, but then I have to spend 8, 12. No, that's worth. It's worth. We saved $20, but we spend 12 instead. So we save $10 per day if we just go at half rations. I can put the saves to work, make even more money, and pay for our stay here. Hey, if we get good rolls, we can just stay here and work forever. Well, unless we run out of supplies. And we can pay everybody's wages. Good. And I want to heal everybody. Good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Ooh, we got some money. People are getting healed. Nice. I don't think I want to go to the arena just yet. Well, maybe. Let me check. How well healed are they? 3 vitality, 5. Nah, 1 more day of rest. I think. Should do the trick. We're going to be fighting at the end of this, so we don't want all of our guys to be, you know, exhausted and dead tired. Let's first explore the city. It's a new day. Oh, another combat. I could just pay them. I think I want to pay them. I don't want my guys to get injured again. Go to the fighting pit. Bet on fights. You lose. $2. Oh well. Can't win them all. And back to the investigation. Oh, and also we go to the watering hole next. Actually, let's go there now. Orc Bouncer, Wallaby friends. You need to hire some strong arms, send an uncomfortable message, sell something that's too hot on your hands. I'm your man. Ask Corner if he can assist you in spying on the Collegium. Ooh. Alright. Them boys down in Scorias are not joking. What do you want to kick into that Erg nest for? You meet his stares. Only after a few seconds as he smiles that mischievous smile of his again. None of my business. I know. Forget me asking. You did great service to Narbo and me, so I'll help you out for free. Tell you the truth, I don't like those Scoria smelters boys much. You go and start sniffing around there in their turf, and my guy will be there to help you out. You just look for the blue mask tattoo on his arm. Land muscle. Because I have few fighters, I can buy some fighters for cheap. How many can I buy? 6? No, 2 fighters. Or I can have somebody help us out in the arena fights. For how much? $1, $10. That might be worth it, you know. I can maybe make it so he takes all the damage in the arena. Let me see what he says. You plan on doing something reckless? Good gods give you luck, friend. I'll provide the rest, but what do you need them for? The eyes of a kingpin light up with a dangerous gleam when you mention the pits. I'll be damned, so you're a Lanista now. He guffaws and pats your shoulder. That's fine, really. I might even watch your fights if your crew is involved. And I know just the guy who suits you. Name's Bro, just me call him the Breaker. I'll arrange for him to join you on the fight. If you need for another fight, come back and we'll talk. Barter with him, there's something he can sell. The Jade figurine he's gonna buy for more than the Sorcerer. The Dwarven gadget's gonna buy for less. Arms of the Dead Surgerites, that would be a steal. If I sold them to him, I think. Yep. Buy Bogweed at a friendly price. I don't know about that. I think that's an illegal narcotic. Buy a slave. For cheap. 60 bucks. Can I buy a slave here and sell it on the market? I'd make 10 bucks. I mean, sure, why not? It's free money. 10 bucks is 10 bucks. Go back to the watering hole. Barter. Get a cheap slave. Thank you. And then go to the market and sell him back. Bam. Okie dokes. Money printing right there. How can I help him? Scorch scratches his beard thoughtfully. That's a very generous offer. There might be something that you could help me with. I can deal with most things here, but out in the wastelands, there's a bit more difficult. You might already know this. There's a man a lot of people are looking for in Avernum. A man who was a gladiator, but escaped and now runs an outlaw gang out there among the dunes. There's a substantial bounty on his head, but I think I can match that and even sweeten the deal with something special. He smiles. You understand? You misunderstand. I want the man alive. He's worth much more that way, right? Sure. Why are you called blue-faced? I'm sure you figured out already, but my face ain't blue. My people are from a very far realm, Vagrus, over the seas to the north of this continent, and even farther. I don't believe that any more of my kind will live in your empire. I came here when I was a lad and ended up staying, but before that I roamed the seas with my clan, wishing to raid and pillage my way into fame. When we first set out, my cousins and I, well, I did not take too well to the sea at first, let's just say that. My people are fond of giving me nicknames, the worst for their deeds. I got blue-faced in those first sailing days, and the others never lived long enough to give me another, a better one, but that's fine. I like this one well enough. Oh, how nice. Okay, do we have anything else to do? I think we've done everything. Well, we could go to the fighting pits, but whenever we go there, we end the day. Oh, Starius. Free money, please. Thanks. The Black Knight looks at you in a way that makes you think he'll strike you, but then he frowns. That'll be the honorable thing indeed, he mutters to himself and reaches into the drawer. He produces a leather pouch and tosses it to you. It's more than enough, I suppose. Consider us even. The pouch contains more than your tax. You only take the coins you need. I'm gonna take it. I'll take it. Yoink. Ooh, 1 lurg. Okay. 10 bucks. I'll take it. Yeah, it's free money. Free money is free money. We made 20 bucks so far today. I think that'll pay for our supplies, our supply costs. Which I can still stretch it. If we only consume 20 per day, we can stay here for like 5 days. Anyway, investigation time. Let's go to the Collegium, since we have help. The Collegium's headquarters are in a large tavern called Gallows Anvil, right next to the bathhouse at the border of the Scoria and the streets below the Villa District, filled with foundries and metallurgical workshops. The place among the better ones of the town, the regulars are smiths, smelters, and the novices and merchants. All belong to the Smelters Guild. It would not be difficult to find some higher-ups in the guild and talk to them. Javik can scan whoever you talk to surface thoughts, but asking of the possible connections to the abolitionists might raise suspicion. How do you want to approach them? Use Scornar's help. The two fellow you and Javik end up talking to, representatives of the old Collegium, are joined by Scornar's man, a half-elf with a charming smile, mismatched eyes, and a blue mask tattoo on his forearm. He negotiates in your name, presenting your association with Scornar. You talk about your interest in the black market. The half-elf guides the conversation every time he senses the representatives are becoming suspiciously defensive. Nice. They are very dodgy when it comes to their partners at the market, especially the ones who deliver contraband from outside the city, so you end up not pushing that angle. In the end, you manage to establish a contact with the black market through them and would be able to place an order. Not that you intend to, but little else. When you leave, the half-elf smiles at you apologetically outside the tavern. Not sure I was much help when it seems these fellows are vehemently protecting their partners in crime. Hope it wasn't for naught, though. You consult Javik. Sorry, boss, it was very tough jumping between mines. Didn't get much from them apart from a sense that our nightly friends' suspicions are well-founded. They surely have deals with the abolitionists, but protect their identities far more vehemently than that of the simple illegal business partner. I could not get much except a glimpse of a street with a long yellow building when one guy was thinking about contacting their associates. What I have to do. Go to the fighting pits. Falco, the man in charge, tells you that fights are arranged each day. Because of the lack of pit fighters and gladiators, all kinds of people have joined the roster. Local thugs, orc mercenaries, and poachers. There's even a fellow who sends a strange Jarka into the arena. Shed the first blood. Your first opponent is a pair of local thugs who like violence a lot, and decide that being paid for it in the pits is really the best thing that could ever happen to them. They are called the Turgak brother, even though they are not related. Waving their cheap weapons around, they manage to get a meager applause from the crowd. They follow that up with swearing, which earns them a bunch of angry shouts and booing. Where's the guy? The breaker. He was supposed to be here. I think. Unless we were supposed to wait an extra day. Hey. No, wait, Morwen, come back. Let's sign this corner over there. He's not here. No. Well. Did I pay for that? Maybe he's gonna come in next round or something. Boost. Okay. Let's kick this guy so he loses a turn. Do I kick this guy too? Yeah. No turns for anybody. And let's attack. Ooh, nice crit. Attack again. Alright. What does Innervated do? Can I go to Javik's sheet? What does it do? Innervated. What? I can't see. What does it do? Innervated. Hey. Oh. Huh? Oh, I can see what it does if we upgrade it. Okay. Cool. I don't care. I want to see. What does Innervated do? It has to do something. I just don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe it does nothing. How about that? Maybe it does nothing. Can we do a damage-less run? No damage taken. Let's kill him. Come on, boys. No damage. Nice. And our reinforcements didn't even show up. Okay. We don't need to pay that much now, do we? Morale, vigor, nutrition. I would like high vigor. Slaves, go out and work for me, please. Half rations because we're kind of low on rations. Okay. Pay everybody's wages, 20 bucks. Man, it looks like we're making a profit here, actually. Well, as long as we don't buy any supplies. Did we heal? Yes, we did. Yeah, we got some health from that. Hey, what's your name? Scornar. Your boy didn't show up. Okay. Maybe he's gonna show up later, today. We'll see. Let's go around the city. While spending some time at Vernum's several mansions, you meet a small group of water merchants from up north. You fall into conversation and find each other amicable enough to talk business. The merchants want to travel to Vitrar in a few days to broker a deal with the Sadirar tribesmen who dwell there. They do not have a comitatus of their own and ask you to take them there. Even though the Vitrar is not in your way towards Ash, you could make a detour. Let's see, they'll pay you 10 bucks now and 10 bucks later. Okay. How many of them are there? Oh, they're not here yet. Good. No, there they are. 4 guys. 8 supplies. Ugh. Damn it. We're gonna lose money from that. We have to make it to Vitrar in like 2 days. Otherwise they won't even pay for the ration costs. Whelp. Sucks. Anything else we can do? Fighting pits. Let's bet. We lose. Oh well. What's his name? Scornar? Give me a free slave, please. Free money, baby. Boop. Okie dokes. And let's go back to the investigation. We have to go and speak with the magistrate. Let me drink some more water. Excuse me. Ugh. Okay. To your mild amusement, the plan Cedarius came up with to lure the assistant magistrate works. Upon arriving at the stag fort, you tell one of the clerk slaves in service of the court that you have news about some Surgorod followers you think were killed in the north. The slave asks you to wait until he reports this one to the administrators. Before you can sit down with said bureaucrat, a clerk arrives to tell you the assistant magistrate will personally listen to your account. You are escorted to the offices on the top floor. You are told to knock and enter. Jevik notices you knowingly as you stand before the office door. Moen is picking her nails. You knock and enter. You find yourself inside a spacious office with a small slit windows looking out into the courtyard of the stag fort. There's a desk here with scrolls stacked up on the side and a few open ones lying in the middle. Maps of the regions are on the walls and rows of shelves hold even more scrolls. A clerk slave busies herself with organizing these. A middle-aged man with a warm smile arises from the chair of the desks. He has dark eyes and a receding hairline. Oof. And his orange tunic is the sash of his office, purple and blue, with a silver clasp holding his shoulder. He introduces himself as Gludis Darrow. My subordinates tell me that you have news of a group of Sorogadites. We're waiting a cohort of such constitution back to the city, but we're beginning to be worried about something happened to them. Perhaps you might have heard of them? We heard rumors. So you've asked around before coming here, understandable. I'm sure you wanted to know as much as you could beforehand, and I think you realize how urgent and important this matter is, so please tell me everything. I was forced here to come... Now, here's the fake story. Just at the beginning. You cleared your throat and before starting. My comitatus was traveling from the scrap heat south along the molten tongue. We came around the voiceless lake. The nose of battle. My scouts returned with news of dead bodies. We saw some undeads to the east shambling back and forth. We got rid of them right away only to find bodies nearby. That sounds like a noble thing to do. Go on, says Darrow, scratching his chin thoughtfully. We checked the bodies. There was a lot of undead, mostly the smoldering variant. It was clear that there were a great battle there. The other bodies all belonged to the same group. They were all Surrogadites and their armed followers. A handful of them badly mutilated by the undead. We checked and found no survivors. And we took some valuables. Understandable. These must be of great value and you are a businessman. Your report now makes up for what you took, Vagrus. Carry on. You conclude the story by telling him that you have not come across any undead or Surgoradites, living or dead, on your journey here. Did you see a knight among the bodies, perhaps? Tall fellow, blonde hair, broad shoulders, dark armor, and quite an exquisite helmet. Fights with a great sword. Darrow asks after a brief pause. You tell him you did not find anyone among the body matching the description, even though you checked them fairly thoroughly. The assistant magistrate thanks you and promises to bring the report before the higher-ups in the city. Should they decide to further question you, they'll find you at the berth. Not after you left the slag fort, Javik tells you that the plan worked. I read his thoughts on the matter. It is clear that he knew much about the setting of the trap. He got really upset when he told them Cedarius might still be alive. He thought about this career in the prefect, but also to report this to someone called Henvius as soon as he can. Alright. I think we've done the investigation now. There we go. Finally, Cedarius says scornfully when you return and tell him that you are done with the investigations. There are a few other Surgites in the room now, watching silently. You recount everything you've learned in the last few days, and Javik details his mental scans. Cedarius and his cronies listen intently. Following your report, Cedarius goes behind closed doors with 2 priests of Surgorod and a couple of executors, while you are told to stay put for now. They emerge after a quarter of an hour, and the executors leave right away. The knights approach you with an uncharacteristic smile on his otherwise grim face. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me for a sec. Okay, I'm good. We got them down, Vagrus. Thanks to the information you provided, we've located the traitor's headquarters in the city. A long, yellow building, the district of Scoria, and a man named Henvius. It so happens that Gaius Henvius, a wealthy merchant and a city official, who is known to be conducting shady business in the name of the prefectus, owns a large, yellow warehouse in Scoria. The whole block is abandoned, making it an ideal place for a hideout. That may not mean anything, Javik starts to say with a frown before Cedarius interrupts him. No, they are there. All of us can sense the treacherous stench, and Sir God's servants are never wrong about such things. The way he says it shuts Javik for good. Bring your men, Vagrus. We strike as soon as we are ready. Can you pay me, though? Pay me. Ceres looks at you for some long, silent moment before speaking. The priests are also fixing you with their grim gazes. I told you the Empire needed you and your crew to conclude the investigation of the abolitionists. Until the nest is destroyed, the investigation is not concluded. The local temple will send every able hand to set up an ambush, but with your help, we will be able to guarantee nobody escapes the snare. Do not fail me in this and the Order will be grateful. It seems like you won't be able to get more up from him just yet. Leaving the hideout, you set out onto the main show. You can see how Javik is worried. He sighs. I don't like where this is going, boss. The last thing we need was getting involved in this conspiracy with the local underworld. The city's leaders, bandits, and the damn fanatics all tearing each other apart so in the middle. For the first time in a long while, I don't know what you're thinking. He's about to say something, he goes on. You don't have to say anything, just know that this is how I see things now. And also that many fellows in the crews are thinking the same. We know there's little you can do to get rid of the nightly parasite at the present, but keep in mind that what we originally set out to do. The two of you return to the main show. You can't help thinking about how it will end. We have to prepare for what is to come. Plus 7 insight. Let's go and recruit some fighters from the watering hole. That's not the right option. There we go. Some fighters for cheap. We'll get more tomorrow, and then we'll attack the warehouse. But first, let's go back to the arena. Hopefully this time our reinforcements show up. The men in charge, yeah, fight in the arena. Stories alignment, okay, well, cool. Today's fight sits you up against the trained jackrabbits of the magnificent Lucius, a former stable hand. Javik scoffs at seeing the beast, and they said that they were trained as any other wild specimens of their species out in the wastes. They just tossed them into a cage and led them into the pit when the fight begins. As a matter of fact, they looked malnourished and demoralized. However, one should never underestimate a hungry beast. Burrow, come in here. Okay. So I'm hoping he can take the brunt of the hits. While we hide behind. In the corner. First, make so Morin can dodge. Buff. Morin, kick some of these guys so they lose a turn. Nice. What can he do? Cheap shot. Less damage, less accuracy, less initiative. We can stun somebody. We can push somebody back. Or just smack somebody. Let's go with a cheap shot first. Damn it. You, get out of here. Okay, well that didn't work. Get out of here, I said. Cheap shot, again. Hey! It hits. Hey, that's fine. Let's buff. I forgot to buff, I think. There we go. Let's try and kill these guys now. Nice. Ooh, crit. Let's make our way down here. Actually, we don't need to. Also, Burrow's been stunned this entire time. That kinda sucks. At least he can take all the hits. That is good for us. There he goes. He's mainly here as a meat bag. Up. Let's make our way down. Nice dodge. Okay. Oh, Javik is out of power. Ew. Bonk. And no damage on us. Not Burrow. $7. And the border breaker is gone. And it was a new day. So we get to heal. We get to pay people their wages. Everybody's okay. We can still go on half supplies. We're fine, we're fine. Go. Okay, so next day, let's go and get some more fighters for the assault on the, whatchamacallit? The assault on the warehouse. Thanks. And also, can I get a free slave? I think we'll keep him around, though. Since our company's expanding. And anything else? Let's bet. Damn it. Explore the city. There's a street performance by a group of thespians, a reinterpretation of the tale of the stonemason's son. You find it quite amusing, but it is evident that most of the humor is aimed at the prefectus and his jurisdiction. Uh-oh. Don't go full Alexandria. Towards the end of the city, guard appear and puts an end to the show. The head of the group is taken away and will get a sound beating, no doubt. You walk the streets of the city on the... Oh, that's it? Okay, well. We know how things are in the city, I guess. We have some insight to spend. My companions are as good as they're gonna get. Why is Javik so expensive compared to Morwen? Oh well. Maybe the psychic abilities. Four guys is not the best. 4 to be poorly defended, 6 to be partially defended. Well, we've healed as much as we can, I think. Can I spend my points on anything really useful? Temporary raise the level, the level of a companion skill. Gain power to combat companions. Raise morale. Raise success chance. Reroll contracts. Traverse is going to be useful when we leave the city, but we're not there yet. Okay, let's go. You arrive at the rendezvous pointed by Sidarius, accompanied by your fighting crew only. It is a few blocks away from the warehouse itself in the enclosed atrium of an abandoned house. A group of grim-faced and invisibly anxious surrogatites novices is gathered around the well, several priests and executors. The Black Knight is also there, standing tall next to a wall, arms crossed, looking at his allies thoughtfully. Everything happens fairly fast afterwards. You learn of the attack plan and that involves the surrogatites surrounding the warehouse and blocking all exits while a force of executors and priests attack you from two sides. In the meantime, you take your companions and Sidarius to their third, rear door in an alley, and deal with the ones that remain. We set out immediately. Following Sidarius, you go around several blocks and end up behind the warehouse. The attack commences just as planned, with novices rushing into the streets. Your group enters a back alley just as you hear the shouts and painful cries. The main force must have entered the warehouse. You don't even make it to the back door before it bursts open, with several armed men rushing out. Let's go. 3 boys. Let's hide in the corner, away from them. Okay. First, let's keep our resourcefulness for later. Damn it. I tried. Ow. Jeez. Let's get some buff going. Shield bash could be good. Oh. That was armor, whatever it's called. More buffs. Yes, you take all the damage. Okay, now kick, please. Good. Keep buffing. Okey-dokes. And start bonking. No! Damn it. Even with all the buffs to accuracy and stuff, we still miss. Whoop. It happens. Damn it! Stop it! Get out of here. Please. Good. Whoops. Move forward. Thank you. You... Can you shield bash? Armor blow. Shield push. Damn it! Stop it! Ah. Kill him. Okay. Come back again. Finally. We're going to do something. Keep bonking. Keep bonking. Keep bonking. Keep bonking. We're gonna get him. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Your companions fighters engage. You are quickly finishing off the stragglers and gather your team after the skirmish when a wounded priest stumbles out to the back entrance. Panting, it tells you that the warehouse is cleared out, but a group of abolitionists managed to break out and escape through the rooftops towards the south. Darius beckons you and you start to run. You catch up with your fleeing foes as they descend from a low building's roof onto an abandoned street. One of them, an archer, spots you and lets loose an arrow. It pierces the throat of one of your fighters, who stumbles onto the ground. Darius charges ahead with a war cry. Your group and their clash moments later. Okay, time to use all of our resources. Up, aside in the corner. I want to boost our evasion. Oh, they're gonna go first. Please don't hurt me. Ow. Oh. Go, go, go. Buff, buff, buff. Debuff too. Damn it! I tried. I tried. I tried. Okay, keep buffing. Bam. Okay, good block. Not so good. Slingshot action. Ouch. You get out of here. Okay. Do I stun him too? Nah. Ooh, nice crit. Keep it up. Nice. I think we got this. Get him. Nice try. Ow. Oof. Let's make our way. The archer. Little mutant archer looking thing. Does he have no mouth? It's hard to see. Ow. Ow. Oh, there he goes. Let me just heal him a bit. 3 heals. Nice. Boom! Okay, we got this. -1 fighter. Though clearly wounded, the archer managed to get away. Her men sacrificed themselves to save her. There was no point in trying to catch her, as your own companion are fairly badly bruised themselves. You trudge back to the warehouse, now secured by the Sorogodites. The streets are a grim sight. Bodies, or parts of them, lie everywhere. Mostly abolitionists, but quite a lot of novices too. An executioner reports to Darius. Apparently all but a handful of the enemy was slain. While they lost a priest, 2 executors, and a dozen novices. In spite of that, it is clearly visible that they are elated by the bloodshed. They have also taken a prisoner who is being questioned, as testified by the painful cries coming from the warehouse. Darius tells you to wait here while he personally interrogates the captive. I don't like your man. Nah, I don't care. The painful cries and sobs escalate shortly after Darius enters the warehouse, only turning to dead silence after a couple of minutes. The knight returns a moment later. He got what he wanted, plus 10 XP! Sorgrod is with us, Vagrus. We have struck a major blow toward the enemy. Judging from the contraband in this building, these abolitionists have been smuggling goods they took from Komitati and other travelers for years now. The tunnel they dug under the wall that connects the warehouse confirms this, the Black Knight says, bristling. Our prisoners was kind enough to tell on his friend, though. There are 3 camps hidden on Irina's Vorax. The Searing Plains, the Voracious Sands. Okay, well. Where they are directed for the attacks from, each no more than several days of travel from Avernum to the south and the east. Our next move is to strike at these camps now that the operation in the city is eliminated. Their supporters and allies will lay low for quite a while after today's show of force. He pauses, looking at you with a piercing gaze. I've decided that we will join your comitatus, and you will help us seek these camps in the wasteland. Pay me, though? Pay me. There's a hint of indignance in the Black Knight's voice as he speaks. The moment we capture the leader, that archer bitch, you'll get your rewards, as well as the gratitude of my order. Or are you doubting my words? I mean, you give me like $10 so far, bro. Didn't you just get a warehouse full of goods? To underline this point, several Sorgodites move closer to you and your companions. All of a sudden, the alley feels very crowded. Didn't they lose 12 guys? You do not wish to defy the wills of Sorgrod, do you, Vagrus? Should you do so, a terrible curse will be placed on you and your crew. This guise will not be lifted until I say so. Consider your comitatus commandeered until this business is finished. From this point onward, you and your crew will always be accompanied by Sorgodites. Javik says nothing, but you can almost feel his ire. Is it directed at you? Hey, I try to get paid, dude. Better or worse, your fate seems to be tied to that of the abolitionists. Darius joins your comitatus. Before you leave the site of the brutal fights, Darius turns to you. So that you know how valuable your aid to the Empire is and its tireless servants, I want you to know this. I hereby vow the name of Sorgrod that should you aid me in eliminating the threat of these abolitionists, and help me capture their leader, I shall set you free from your service and say that you will be most handsomely rewarded. The knight has a constipated look, like someone who has a really hard time admitting something. He clears his throat. Now, I hope that it suffices. Go and see to your business here quite quickly. We set out as soon as you are able. You take your leave and trudge back to the main show, with your companions bruised and bone tired. A platoon of Surguard executioners already guard the inn by the time you get there, packed and ready to leave Avernum with you. Plus 1 day. Let's heal. We only have half rations. Hey, we consume 34 now. Went up by 10. Phew. And the people's pay really increased now that I have more fighters with us. Okay. We're gonna need more fighters to defend us while we're out there in the wasteland. So first, last time to explore the city. Oh, a loud man in one of the inns you visit boasts that he has come up with an amazing new strategy for Dux Bellum, the Duke's War. Something like that. A popular guard game. He gloats that nobody can beat him. When you and several others take him on it, it turns out that his unbeatable strategy entails spending all of his glory points on drawing new cards, quickly drawing most of the common deck into his hand. This, however, leaves him without glory points to spend on action, so you defeat him with ease. He laughs it off before shaking your hand and leaving, muttering to himself about how it seemed like an ultimate strategy. Must be reference to a game I don't know about. Let me go and get a free slave. And also get a free contingent of sheep fighters. Okay. Let's bet in the fighting pit. You lose. Oh well. Okay, let's prepare for leaving the city now. We should get at least 2 days of supplies. Supplies will be cheaper out here than they are in here. They'll be twice as cheap, so we don't want that many supplies. Just enough to get to the next city. 2 days of travel. Okay, so we should have 2 days of supplies. But first, let's get as many people as we need. We need, let's see, 14 fighters to be fully defended. There's only 5 here, so we can get up to 10. There we go. We want some scouts, 5 minimum, for the quest. I'll take more, though. And now we're down to being poorly defended again. I'll take 6, how about that? We have enough workforce right now. So let me go ahead and sell some slaves to pay for stuff. There we go. Now we need less fighters to defend us. 1 more slave. Yeah, that's just about right. Okay, we have some money to buy some supplies. And we need passengers. He wants to go to Vitrar. You can come with us. Get some news to exchange out there. The market. So how much do we consume right now? We're gonna go all the way to having 15, maybe even 16 or 17 fighters, which is quite a lot. How much do we consume? 50. Jesus Christ. Okay, 30, 50, 62, 67, 77, 83 supplies per day. So we want 160, thereabouts. If we can get lucky while hunting out there, we could make more supplies than we consume, but that's a long shot. Is there an easy way for me to see how many supplies we eat, apart from the end of day screen? Oh, there it is. 93! Oh, the passengers eat too. Oh, hey, look at the Surgoridites don't eat anything. Well, the water merchants are eating us out of existence. Okay, so we need about 200 supplies. That's just what we need. Oh boy, that's all my money. If I do this, we won't have anything to sell. Or buy and sell or anything, really. I mean, that's better than nothing. Better than no supplies. I could sell some of my equipment, maybe. Or a slave. But that'd be quite... nah. No, probably a bad idea. Could sell a mount, maybe, but that'd be bad. We lose a cargo slot. If we can just go to one of these faraway places... If we can get to Urtavar and Vitrar, and deliver our passengers, and sell our metal, we should be fine. It's just that we won't have the money for supplies on the way, so we'll have to get creative. On the way down here, we can stop here for a bounty, and here for a bounty. Get to Vitrar. get supplies, go to this bounty down here, and then make our way back and trade some more. Okay, let's see if we can manage to survive without dying. Anything else I can do to get some money before we leave? Hmm. The foundries did have... Then we have equipment made of metal? No? Okay. Let's leave. We needed 5 scouts to leave. And more needed to not be severely wounded for some reason. You approach the gate, Comitatus, packed up and ready to go. Grim-faced Sorgrites approach you, with slaves in tows that carry an foray full of supplies. My contribution to the journey, the Black Knight says. Oh. I didn't need to spend all that money on supplies then. The guards check your cargo and talk briefly to the Comitatus. You've paid the gate tax, so you can leave.
With the Black Knight's investigation concluded in Avernum, we were yet again chained to his will and purpose. Commandeered from our original venture, we set out across vast plains of sand and rock in search of escaped slaves that preyed upon travelers. We could only dream that we'd make it out of this predicament alive and could return to our journey eastwards.
Okay, I know for a fact there's a bounty somewhere over here in this section, but first and foremost I want to scout out some places and find some place to hunt to get more supplies. Okay, well I guess we can just camp here for now. The deputy panel is now active. Who can assign a deputy? Here's a scoutmaster to go and move further every day. We can't have full guard, so we need to lose some vigor, which is kind of important. Right now it's giving me more movement and defense and maximum march and everything. Scout can hunt. Whoa, let me spend some points on hunting skills. First I want to get the traverse skill. Who can transfer marching points to movement points. Next I want some hunting, so beast lore. Hunting. Anything that can help in tests. Let's see, +2 healing chance, arcane lore, con, 1 point should be fine. Engineering, evaluate, herb lore, history, intimidation, +2 discipline. Ooh, scouting base chance. Scouting base chance. We're gonna be scouting. Prospecting, religion, skulker, survival, foraging base chance. Bam. How's our chances now? It didn't move. Nice. I can't pay anybody, but that's fine. We'll pay them later. We can go for full supplies for now. What do we lose? Lots of workforce. Only for the workers, though. Okay. Let's hope we get lucky and get some supplies. Huh. Hey, we got a bit. That's neat. We can now scout. So go here. You decide how many points you spend. The more scouts you have, the cheaper it is to scout. But then, you know, then you need to feed your scouts and stuff. That's gonna be everything, so no. This is fine. I want you guys to find some hunting spots. Go. They found a mediocre hunting spot. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. The tutorial is done. Mostly. Let's move. As the Comitatus crosses the broken terrain, one of your scouts runs up to you from her forward position. Vagrus. There's a solitary figure standing at the edge of the ravine to the north. I think it's a sadly rare tribesman. He's watching the crags, but I couldn't tell if anything is going down there. Okay. Leaving the Comitatus behind, you take your companions and some of your fighters over to the hills just in case. In a few minutes, your cohort finds the man your scout was talking about. Standing at the edge of a set of ravines is a lone tribesman, leaning on a bone spear. His sweat in the choking heat has caused most of his orange and red body paint to dissolve. Over his red poncho and bandana, you can see grim eyes gazing into the crags. The man is clearly a Sardirar, most probably of the Fire Tribe. He turns to you slowly as you approach him. He says something. Greetings, traveler. The great fire spirit must have sent you in this dark hour. He explained that while hunting fire lizards a few days ago, his group of hunters was attacked by a terrible undead monstrosity. It slaughtered his fellows, and he only survived because he hid like a coward. Now he cannot return until the spirits of his companions are avenged. He's been tracking the undead horrors for days, since he figured he couldn't kill it alone. He asked the Great Fire Spirits to send him aid, and you appeared. Clearly enough, you can see a large, dirty, grey-shaped looming down in one of the crags, and several smaller undead. I must go now and face my destiny. If you were indeed sent by the spirits, follow me. Okay. We're supposed to kill some undead. You and your fighters descend nimbly into the volcanic crags. All the while, you're thinking about going crazy for doing this. The Sardarar tracker is ahead of you, heading straight forward towards the undead. Time to decide what to do. Use the bone charm. There's 2 resourcefulness. Neat. You say the words of the command that the priest taught you, and you raise this carved bone charm into the air, just as they showed you. After a moment of quiet buzzing, the small trinket blackens and turns to ash in your palm. At the same time, the lesser undead collapse into heaps of charred flesh and broken bones. The dark magic that animated them finally broken. The huge pale abomination stands still for a moment, trembling but strangely, but then lunges towards your core to attack. It's weakened, though. Ooh. Lost 6 HP. Okie dokes. Let's do this. We're gonna boost Morgan's dodges. Boost again. I don't think we can stun the abomination, but we can bonk him. Ooh. You make him weak. Less accuracy and less initiative. Nice. We can't really debuff or attack the enemy with our magic powers, so whatever. Ouch! Ugh. Okay. He's gonna be stunned for a round, so let's not raise him for just yet. Just not yet. 1 HP. 3 HP. Ew. Let's raise... What's his name? He's no longer stunned. No, he's not going to be stunned next round. Huh. He's going for him, really. Specifically. Anyway, the thing's almost dead. Come on. Ow. Come on. Come on. Nope. Next turn. Okay, we got this. Just some minor injuries. Oops. Okay. Okay, please. Please. Okay, okay, okay. You managed to weaken it at least. The abomination is finally destroyed in a shower of white ash as his body comes apart and falls to the ground in misshapen heaps. You collect a skeletal hand and some pale ash as proof of your victory. As you turn around, you see the Sardarar tracker kneeling in front of you, weeping quietly, bowing his head. Thank you, O Traversers of the Fiery Plains. Without you, this poor tracker would have perished, for sure. I can't give you much, but then I've returned to Urdvovar to tell the tale of what happened. But if you go there, I'll gladly repay you. Got a trophy, at least. How's the spoils here? If we succeed, we can be good, but it's gonna cost us some of our vigor. Unless I use our... Oh, we have to... Well, whatever. Let's just camp. Camp. Just stay chill. We're racking up a debt, but that's fine. The bounty should at least pay their wages. Oh. About an hour after the comitatus settles down, a terrible shriek pierces the night. Many of the recruits jumps off of the bedroll. Weapons drawn, but the howl is distant enough not to be an immediate threat. People are about to return to bed when another scream is heard, then another one, and then another one. It goes on for hours, and the originator seems to wander around the camp. Always out of sight under the cover of darkness. Always just too far to be comfortable to investigate. A group of guards eventually set out in bad mood to find a source. But they did not find anything. Eventually, after hours of bone-chilling screams, the howler disappears. Not a lot of the crew managed to get a good night's sleep, including you. Ugh. -2 vigor. Let's make our way towards Urdvovar. Let's go here and scout out. Use resourcefulness so we can get better scouting opportunities. Thank you. Please find some good hunting spots. Oh, this one over there is decent. Let's try and hunt some supplies. It's going to be our main chokehold. Okay. Can't pay nobody. Deal. Okay. Give me some supplies, please. It's basically free money. If we can get it. Hunting, please. Hunters? Hunters, please. One more try. Nope. Mwop. I tried. Let's just leave. I think it's a bad idea to bet on hunting for supplies. Oop. We're almost at Udvodar. We can get some cheap supplies there. Do I have Force March? What's better, to go to Udvodar or make our way down to the Oasis? I think we should go down to the Oasis, but we can stop at Udvodar to rest, at least. Home to the eponymous Udvodar tribe of fire worshippers, this village is one of the few permanent settlements of the Sardarar folk have. Poised on the edge of the large barren plateau, protected from the raging heat of the nearby lava lakes, rows of soot-covered sandstones house and stands await visitors. Everything is painted orange and red, the holy colors of the great fire spirits. Clothing, awnings, banners, and even faces. I can hire some scouts. Young warriors. We do need more warriors. 4 youths of the Udvodar warriors are talking in hushed tones next to a row of tents. They greet you politely when you approach them and ask them why they've been staring at you. We heard your tribe travels the sands and may go to faraway lands, the oldest of them says. The fire in our heart compels us to seek what is over the horizon. If you wish, we should join your tribe and fight for you. You could hire them if you're looking for warriors. Damn it, we fell. Hire some scouts. I think I'm good. We can't really hunt anything, so scouts are pretty pointless now. The tracker. It doesn't take long for you to locate the tracker who you helped defeat. Locate the tracker you helped defeat the undead out in the broken wasteland. He greets you warmly and invites you to a small hovel that is painted red and orange, as you accept his offer of fresh water and talk for an hour about his past as well as yours. As it turns out, the tracker's family perished years ago in a terrible earthquake that since then he's lived alone. He started to go on risky ventures and joined reckless hunting parties, but when he came face to face with the undead horrors that attacked his cohort, he realized that he does not want to die. It would certainly be dead had you not come to his aid against the Shamblers. I forget that words would not suffice, O traveler of the broken world. Apologies, I do not have much in the way of riches. Perhaps you could take some of my old things I've been hoarding here, or the magical stone my wife's sister gave her. It says to give 1 endurance. I never carried it. Perhaps you need a tracker? Something valuable. Join you. Bloodstone. The Bloodstone? The Bloodstone? Bloodstone. Vitality, bleed resistant, poison resistance. More health, huh? Let's give it to Morwen. She gets injured often. And seek out the shamans. The fire shamans of the Udvodar tribes are the undisputed leaders of the people. Nobody would dare provoke their wrath, and rightly so, because like the element they worships, they can be fickle and quick to wreak havoc. The daily gathering of Udvodar's most influential shamans can be attended by outsiders as well, so you trudge over to the brickworks buildings where the meeting takes place. Inside it's hot, as well as a furnace thanks to a large fire set in the middle under an opening in the ceiling. The shamans sit in a circle way too close to the flames and discuss the important matters of the tribe, as well as listen to news and ask for medical supplies, ask about the city, ask about the last pilgrimage. Let's go about the city first. Most of them look perplexed upon hearing your request, but an elderly shaman raises his head and starts to speak in a drawl. We are the Udvodar of the Sardarar people. Our ancestors survived the burning that destroyed the tribes of the forgotten people that poisoned the land. Before the skies opened and the burning was sent to the earth, our ancestors heeded the warning of the great spirits and hid underground. The elect of the spirits led our ancestors out into the searing plains and showed us how to survive and where to live. The Udvodar are warriors and explorers, pioneers who fought great battles against the many horrors that lurked in the endless deserts and fields of liquid fire to the north. Thus, fire spirits adopted us and we adopted it. We command the flames and heat of the land that when we need to. We burn the dead and use great fires to craft things the other Sardarar cannot. And we, like all other 4 tribes, send emissaries to the villages of Sardarar that will guide people in matters that concern us all. Are the water people your enemy? Why would they be enemies? One of the shamans look at you with a confused expression. You mean because we follow fire and they follow water? It will be folly. There's a balance that the great spirits strive for, and we need all the 4 tribes to maintain the balance. It is in nobody's interest to repeat the burning. No, outsiders, we are allies and friends to the other tribes, even though our ways of our own and we share a bloody history. Understood. What about the last pilgrimage? You recount your encounter with the spectral pilgrims. Javik butts in here and there. The shaman asks some questions, they talk at each other in their native tongue. At length, one of them, a small man with a mangy mane of black hair, turns to you. We know little of these wandering spirits because we avoid them just like everyone else. There's a fire burning inside them, but this fire is not of this world, not of them with the flame of the fire spirits. It is kindled by a searing wound, reeking of disappointment and of betrayal, and the flashes you saw. We have heard of no account of such a thing. Whatever makes you and your people see them as to be the reason for the spectre's apparent attraction towards you, we believe. Hey, insight. Okay, let's do some trading. They have supplies for us. We have some ivory from our hunting. 20 bucks. I mean, I guess I'll free up the space. I can't sell them. Oh, I can sell them some. Ooh, good prices for the iron. There. That should be able to pay for stuff. Many supplies and salaries and stuff. There's nothing I want to buy here. Anything I want to buy from them. Ivory, bone, chitin, dried fruit, dyes. I don't know why, but I think the price history gadget here doesn't work really well in this mode, so I have a hard time finding where things are valuable. These guys will buy grain and timber for a good price, though. I think one of these new items was supposed to tell us. Encampment in a cave. A large cave used to rest in when I'm out in the dunes, but now some cursed strangers made a camp of them and chased me away. If you want to find them, journey southeast from here from 2 days and turn south between the quicksand fields. I think this is the location they're talking about. And last hunting party, we know where they went. Slaves, scouts. We need more fighters for sure. Oh, they're expensive though. 10 bucks each. But when you need them, you need them. Beasts are the same price as back in the town. Passengers. I'm going to Vitrar anyway, so I can get this group of craftsmen. That'll be profitable. Do we buy supplies? Let's buy a bit. At least 1 day's worth of supplies. 100 should be enough. Should be enough. Bam. And let's rest here. Good night's sleep for more morale, vigor, nutrition. We need the more morale. Sure. Our vigor really dropped out a whole bunch. I think the forced march just did that. But I don't know, I can't see the exact effects of everything. And slaves can just work. No, that's why, because if slaves are going to be working, draining our vigor. Is it worth it for 40 bucks? I don't think so. Okie dokes, we got healed a bit. Nobody else wants to come here. Let's get out of here. No events to talk about. Supplies are fine. We have a couple of days of supplies. Let's go, let's go. We want to go to the next bounty. It's over here, I think. Hard to say. Boop. Let's move. 11. We'll have 3 movement points left. I can spend 1 force march point. Boop. Yeah, that's not too bad. Pay everybody now. 60 bucks every day. That's gonna drain our money really fast. The faster we can travel, the more money we're gonna be able to make in the long run. Also, morale just went down a whole bunch because of the forced march, I think. And the slaves are no longer obedient. Discipline. Gain obedience. Oop. They're not unruly. If I feed them more, we'll be fine. Our workforce went up because I got more soldiers. That's what happened. What does that mean? Don't know. Okie dokes. Let's fight whatever is on the other side of the bounty. Traveling under the killing sun over the never-ending sand dunes makes one fairly numb. Your scouts, however, do not let such nuisance get the bit of them. One of them finds a set of tracks belonging to a 4-legged beast that leads away south. One of the creatures must be huge according to the paw prints. We have 15. We have a couple of chances, but I'll use resourcefulness. Hey, tracks belonging to Jackras for sure, but one of them is more than twice as big as the regular critters. A scout says upon reporting the findings, the trail leads southward to a rocky area. We can follow it if we start quickly, otherwise we'll lose it. The Comitatus follows the track and ends up in a few miles to the south where jagged, wind-carved rocks poke out of the sand. In a considerably large area, most of the fighting crew is ahead of the main line of cart and beasts. The trail disappears among the rock. Could the beast be hiding somewhere? We have a good chance. You and your scouts react just in time to avoid being ambushed out in the open. Forming in a defensive line, the fighting crew is ready when the first Jackra charges out of the crevice of the rock formation, followed by several more. As the skirmish starts, a terrible roar shakes the air. A huge Jackra, big as a horse, appears on top of the cliff and claws the ground with its powerful paws. The other creatures immediately go into a frenzy, and the Jackra Alpha charges your toughest companions. Once this fight is done, we can go to the water place. I think that'll be the end of the day. Well, or today's streams. Damn it. Come back. Okay. Well. Okay. Is everybody fully healed? Nice. Let me up somebody's defense. Up. Up. Can I use everything right now? I think I can. Boop. More buffs. Buffs for everybody. Excuse me. What's better, stunning or attacking? Stunning. I think. Ow. Oh, these guys got stunned really badly. For one round. Ooh. Nice crit. Can I follow through? Damn it. Nope. No, not 1 damage. Okay, people are stunned. Kill him. Nice. Let's kill the other guy. Please. Okay. Let's buff. You can debuff the enemy. The big old boss. You can finish this guy off, please. Damn nabbit. At least that's his turn. That's almost as good. Okay. Let's go. Time to bonk this guy to death. Not much else to do. I wonder if I kicked him if he would be stunned. That could be useful. Ow. Minor wounds can be healed in 1 day. As long as it's all spread out on everybody, I think. You forfeit. Get some power back. If I kick him, are you gonna get stunned? No. The answer is no. Kill him. Please. Do a homicide. Come on. Ow. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ow. That one hurt. Okay. Bounty done. Oh. Your companions managed to bring down the Jackra Alpha before it could cause much harm. Upon hearing the death throes, the survivors of this pact flee into the desert right away. After burying the fallen, you instruct your crew to patch their wounds up and cut off the monster's gigantic head. If you have the time and expertise, you could also harvest the dead. Since we have the time. Yeah, okay. And perk hunting. 2 hides, ivory, amulet of protection, -1 fighter. Well, the fighter is pretty bad, but that's fine. What can we get here? Meh. We can scavenge for some minor supplies. Let's just rest here for now. Hey, our workforce is back to being okay. That's good. Let's go ahead and scavenge stuff. Supplies are running low. We'll have to eat half rations today. We got a camp here. We don't have a choice. Okay. Half rations. Go out and do stuff, please. Pay everybody. Morale is dropping slowly but surely. We could have morale be steady if we had enough guards to guard the camp. Anyway, let's get out of here. Aha! Okay, we'll go to this town tomorrow. Let's finish today with some... excuse me. Some codex reading. I think we last left off on necromancy. Let me check my crew's inventory though. We have plenty of space. If we can buy lots of supplies here by selling metal, I think we can then move on down south to this little nook here. We can go here, go down here for more supplies if that's a city we can, you know, supply up from. Then go here and here. And then on the way back we can check out this outpost and go to Avernum. But that's gonna be really supply intensive. I think no, you know what? I think in fact we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go down here, do the mission, then come back and pick up enough stuff to do a trading run and then do some trading. Also, it looks like one of my passengers left us. Hey, we got an insight. How much insight do we have? 4. Let me just get all the skills. Okie dokes. So, some codex time. We last left off on necromancy. I was interested in that. The Emperor we already read. The Wound. Tainted. Scrap Heap. Necromancy. Let me just blow my nose first. Excuse me. Okay. Necromancy is the magical art of sensing, manipulating, substituting, and altering the life force of living beings. Although categorized as dark magic and consequently stigmatized all over the known world, the Empire is unique in its acceptance of the usage of these powers. So much so in fact that Imperials are often considered death worshippers by other cultures. This is because Ashkol, arguably the most prominent god of the Empire, is the king of the underworld, a god of death in part responsible for undead being reanimated by necromancy. The Church's stance on these arts is quite rigid. Only such magic performed by their members or sanctioned by their members is lawful. Okay, whatever. Unsanctioned undead have to be eliminated, or else they have profaned the holy act of reanimation. Priests of the death gods and sorcerers alike can perform necromantic magic, which is thusly one of the unique arcane arts. Consequently, the Church of Ashkol and independent unlicensed necromancers can teach those with a talent in the dark arts. The most well-known form of necromancy is the reanimation of the dead, but most practitioners reach that advanced level after mastering simpler spells, like ones that allow the strengthening of a necromantic flesh, talking to spirits of the dead, sensing life force, or disciplining on... You know what we need? We need a necromancer on our team. That seems useful. Well, I guess... the Black Knight might be a necromancer. The absolute epitome of necromancy is the ability to resurrect a dead person into an undead body. There's something beyond the reach of all but the most powerful. Sages theorize that this is because doing so requires one to manipulate souls, which is beyond the scope of necromancy and delves into what is considered demonic magic. It is known that the 12, the Lich Lords of the Empire, grant this boon of conscious undeath to their most loyal servant. Ah! Necromancers can serve the Empire at various positions. Most often they are either assigned to legions to control, maintain, and reanimate a cadre of undead warriors, or to crews that perform manual work like construction, whether their undead are used for the worst kind of tasks. A well-known Imperial saying is that the bones of the Empire are the bones of the dead, which refer to how much the Fourth Age was built by reanimated dead. The Pillars of the Empire sounds important. The umbrella term for 3 religious institutions that are separate from the Church of the Triumvirate, yet are intricately interwoven with them and bind them together. Their founding in the 2nd century, followed by the Calamity, was the result of the terrible war between the churches that almost toppled the new empire. Still in this crib. The 12, however, managed to build the conflict and impose strict rules on the unbridled priesthoods. To build bridges among them, the Lich Lords devised a plan that involved the creation of holy orders that involve a pair of gods each, binding each god closer to the other two. Although the occasional strife remains, the Pillars were successful in bringing religious stability. The 3 Pillars are the Order of the Black Sun, the Nosferati Sisterhood, and the Ater Manis. Order of the Black Sun we already read about. The Nosferati Sisterhood is a much more secretive organization, one that is best described as a coven of witches and a purveyor of dark secrets. Members of the adherent of Baal Orkar and Ashkol, only a few Imperials knows, but most have a vague notion that the sisters in fact research magic and natural sciences. Dabbling in all the known sorcerous arts in an attempt to unlock more potent and ingenious powers. The Sisterhood has... Also, we got a special talisman from the... whatever. The Sisterhood has mastered blood magic, soul manipulation, necromancy, magical charms, arcane sacrifices, and prophetic divinations. No act is too depraved for them if it is in the service of the Empire. Countless new kinds of undead, mutants, spells, rituals, and dark truths came into possession of the Empire. Lastly, the Dark Hand, the Ater Manis, is a secret society acting as the Assassin's Guild of the Empire. even though publicly the Order is one of state couriers and spies, applying Baal Urkal's secret art of secrecy, charm, and deceit, as well as Surgrod's martial prowess and fanatic determination for justice. Agents of the Dark Hand can eliminate any target named by the 12 or the Senate. Individual not in state capacity can also hire the Dark Hand, albeit for a fortune. Whoever works with them can expect efficiency and complete discretion. Word is that no target has ever escaped the organization. Okay. Let's read about the Triumvirate in that case. Sounds important. The Triumvirate are the pantheon of gods that served as the official religion of the Empire since the beginning of the Fourth Age. This trio of gods came to contact with the 12 Liches just after the Calamity and offered them aid. Some say that they even had a hand in preserving the Apostle, making them into Liches. The three gods soon formed their own religion. The three gods... Wait, what? Whoa. The three gods formed their own religion under the watchful eye of the 12, who are not the true head of the state, but the church as well, and in turn worship the Triumvirate. Wait. So the 12 are the head of the church, and they worship... and they worship the gods. So the gods are above the 12, religiously speaking. The three gods are Surgorod, god of vengeance, Baal-Kur-Al, god of demons, charm and intrigue, and Ashkul, king of the underworld. Ashkul is the biggest god, while Baal-Urkal is the most obscure. Each god's church is responsible for part of the society. There was a war between them. That's when they established the pillars. Religious practice typically involves prayers, masses, sacrifices. Every time an Imperial wants help, a sacrifice, or at least a promise of one, is required. People sacrifice food, drink, or animals, but not humans. Interesting. This is done exclusively by priests who serve as conduits between the divine. Sacrificing humans or members of other decent race is forbidden by Ashkul. What makes a race decent is anyone's guess. Okay, well, good to know. Anything else we need to read about? That's going to be important. Abolitionists. A secret society that wants to abolish slavery. Slavery is still here. It used to be a big part of the Empire, but it's still around. Oh, in the Fourth Age, the 12 have outlawed anti-slavery and thus abolitionism, in the pretext of divine mandate. Ever since then, the persecution of abolitionists has merciless hunts for them. Okay, the movement is strongest in the outlying provinces, where slaves are asked to do the hardest labor. Mines and work camps in the mid-regions were also the site of great slave revolts. It's a disunited group. Okay. The Legion is the Legion. Centurions are Centurions. Wait, what? Originally, Centurions led 100 men, but now they have a more important role. Understood. Commies is for people in the Comitatus. Comitatus is your Comitatus. Devon is a large settlement. We're supposed to go there to sell our metal. Anything about metal being rare? It's a completely underground city. In tunnels. They live with wraiths. Whatever that means. It's a big city. Okay. Draka is a coin. The highest value coin in use, minted from gold, is extremely rare, and only the rich can come into contact with it, especially since gold has become even rarer. Owning a Draka often means you can buy very valuable things like a house, a lot of slaves, or metal equipment. On one side, it has the Imperial crest, on the other, the vision of the Immortal Emperor. The name Draka is derived from the drachma car, which means valuable quarter. I thought it meant from the drachma, the ancient Greek coin. In fact, it used to be the Greek coin until they became the euro. I think it was the oldest coin ever. Dwarves, Grey Dwarves, are descendants of the dwarves of old, altered by the calamity. Men always grow beards. They're drawn to their dwarves, basically. Oh, their former merry and progressive nature turned into bitterness, pragmatism, and cynicism for the most part. They live to 200 years old. They used to be gifting the humans the secret of metal and stone. When the calamity struck, most dwarves were cursed and destroyed by volcanoes, so now they're all homeless. These days, dwarves are nomads for the most part, dealing in gadgets and metalworking. Sometimes they make an attempt to enter the Molten Kingdom and learn something of the past, but they never come back. Dwarves are scavengers, merchants, and inventors. And the numbers are falling consistently due to the reluctance to procreate. For intended purposes, the dwarves are a dying race, and they don't seem to care. Alright. Irophon is often wrongly referred to as a god, as a saint of the old religion, whose influence is so great in everyday life that his worship remains even after calamity. Called the Vagabond, he is the one who looks after roads and travelers. He Originally, Hierophant was a man who, according to legend, visited every place there is, yet never found what he sought until he realized that he was drawn to the road itself. Strangely, his Cenobites have some magical powers in the post-Calamity era. Jacker are the little lizard guys. Liberated tribes are outlaw groups made up of escaped slaves. Good to know. Medicos is a healer. They use herbs, tinctures, and potions. Magical healing is beyond the scope of a medicos. Their services are really cheap, but often sought after. Sadirar is the Sand People. Statue is a great inn alongside the road, which are different from Mancio, which are on cities. Tana was the elder god of the underworld, who looked after the souls. According to ancient lore, Tana was the chieftain of a clan of gods called the Tanashians, and became a grim deity after accepting the task of overseeing the dead from the king of the elder gods. The Tanat was a well-respected and fervently worshipped, if obscure god in ancient times, but after he descended in the Calamity, he left this reality. Ashkol took his place. Tartarus is the underworld. The demons occupied much of the abyss. Whoa. The realm of the dead has become a prison for many of the being unwanted by the elder gods, with the first demons among them. Thus, Lower Tartarus has been a bottomless chasm not called the abyss, where these terrible things are chained. When the elder gods left, the demons started occupying much of the abyss. Unsupervised not to control, they started attacking worlds and made plans to free their progenitors. Ashkol, the god of the new death, is looking after people who are dead. The Church of Ashkol takes place of the dead. It wields great political power and magical power, since they take care of necromancy. It has of temples. Okay. Surgorod. They're the Inquisition. Military power. Okay. The Dead Force is a region. The Emperor's Road is a big old road. The only major road maintained by the Imperial authorities. Good to know. Oh, wait. At interval, guard towers and shelters are kept in relatively good conditions, which means protection but also taxes. Thus, many Comitatis simply pick the Shadow Road, the more dangerous but profitable wilderness. The Empire. Let me drink some water before I read that. So far, everything seems to be... It's not exactly the Roman Empire, but it's definitely closely shadowing it. Obviously, having the literal gods come down and kill the Roman Empire is a bit different than what historically happened, but still. And also everything being in Latin. The Empire is the largest and most populated country on the continent. It is made up of provinces, tribute-paying regions that go to the heartlands. At its peak, the Empire ruled almost the whole continent, and had pristine relation with the elder races that inhabited it. After the Calamity, during which most of Zerine was utterly destroyed, the new Empire rose from the ashes and began a 1,000-year-long march of vengeance and dominance. The Empire is the oldest and most lasting society created by the humans. It was founded during the Third Age. It was guided by elder gods. Imperials got help from the dwarves and the elves. At its peak, the Empire was the greatest society in the world. Then the Calamity struck. The elder gods descended from the heavens and unleashed all hell upon the Imperials, killing without mercy. Only a few distant lands survived unscathed, but most of Zerine was devastated by the uncontrollable arcane energies. The Emperor personally protected the capital of the Heartlands, but then became into a coma. The new Empire was thus rebuilt from ashes. With a new pantheon of gods, undead legions, and a vengeful heart, Imperials set out to reclaim what used to be theirs. The next centuries were steeped in conflict and bloodshed, but in the end the Empire reclaimed most of their old territories. Although its former glory was gone, it still remained one of the greatest powers in the world. A constant war is waged against the Green Continent in the north to claim its riches. Economy. Present-day Empire does everything in its power to scrape everything it can from broken realms and dwindling natural resources. The Calamity destroyed much and cursed even more. Metal is so rare that most of people use substitute materials instead. Ivory, crystal, and obsidian are very popular and accessible. Lumber is also mostly unavailable. I mean, I can see why. It's all desert. Often, provinces produce several unique products. Thus, trading trades are the key. Trade houses, controls, blah blah blah. Society. While the Emperor slumbers, the 12 immortal liches rule the Empire in its name. The Senate is mostly an advisory council, yet sometimes it can sway the rulers in ways unforeseen. Trading houses and arcane orders also hold considerable power. Most citizens eke out a living under a crushing rule, and few people can afford to rest or luxuriate. Slavery is enforced by law, and as it always has been. Most free citizens own slaves, and successful businesses as well as industries rely on their toil to a great extent. Religion. After the excommunications and disappearance of the elder gods in the wake of the Calamity, the Triumvirate emerged and offered the divine power to help rebuild the Empire. Okay, yeah, we already read about that. Let me blow my nose, excuse me. Then we'll read about the calendar. Okay. Okay. As you can see, I can read much faster than I can speak. So if you can see me jumping, it's because that's what I usually do when I read just naturally, is I pick out the important bit. And then if someone you see me go, oh, whoa, 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 and then go back, that's when I see an important bit I missed. Anyway, the Imperial Calendar. Even though many continents' diverse cultures maintain a calendar of their own, every realm also keeps the Imperial Calendar to some extent, especially in the field of commerce and diplomacy. The current calendar was created at the end of the Triumvirate War around 150 post-Calamitat, based on the reformed calendar of the twin emperors Caldarius and Sendanius from the 22nd century anti-Calamitat, with some notable differences to have to do with the changed perception of the elder gods and their spheres. It also uses a new starting point, the Calamity, also called the New Founding, and differentiate between pre-Calamity and post-Calamity, called anti-Calamitat and post-Calamitat, so AC and PC. The year is made up of 12 months, each 30 days long, thus a 360-day year. First month, Surgoras. First, it used to be named after the god of war, Arcus, but now it became Surgoras. It was also the first month after winter, when traditionally war could be conducted. Leto means slaying or smithing, referring to the end of the winter. It used to be named Beradis, but it got changed. Caldarius, named after the twin emperors, previously called Tribus. Sendanius, named after the twin emperors, previously called Quatis. Obscurus, meaning to hide or disappear, is a reference to Baal or called god of lies. It used to be called Octifius, meaning fruit-bearing, fertile, and joyful, which originates from pre-Daramonian times, but changed to avoid mention of fertility and weather. I guess so. That'd be quite bitterful to have a month named after fertility when everything's a desert. Nerodis, named after Emperor Neron, who ruled just before Cavalarius, was considered the greatest champion of the Senate. The month's old name was Sextus, meaning the sixth. Zevaram, named after House Zevaris, the house of the noble immortal emperor. The month used to be called Zunais after Zuna, the prime goddess and wife of Zain. It used to be the most bountiful month, but then it was changed. Vindemis, meaning wine or grape gathering. This was the primary month of winters, and the name originated from the 12 wanted to change it, but the Senate managed to protect the name, and since wine production is revived, the Liches let it go. Oh, how nice. Aesta Mort, meaning death of warmth, or death of year. It used to be the last month of the year before the reform. It used to have a 9-month year. Vigilus means wakes or vigilance, referring to the assigned time of the year and nature sleeping, but man staying awake in the darkness. His days were a part of the long, single winter month, which was separated into 3 months by the twin emperors. Velum, the Velfrost used to be the slow winter month. Facta means procedure, a time when new senators are selected, the previous years evaluated, and preparations are made for the next year. Facta was added by the twin emperors. Every month has 5 weeks of 6 days. Dia Solas, day of the sun. Oh, referring to the old god of sunlight. The only old name that was kept after the 12th campaign of censorship. Diania, the great moon. The largest. Oh, we have 3 moons here. Hey, nice. Dia Imperis, the prime god Zin, was changed. Dia Mortis, the goddess Zuna, was changed. Dia Albia used to be the other moon, the second largest moon. So we have Albia and Nia. And Dia Urkal, named after Baal Urkal, the god. Okay. A region, the Jagged Wastes. A Jigan, a region, the Plain of Bones. There's bones. Oh wait, when the calamity struck the lands, the city was abandoned. The savage man-scorpion mutants renamed the place Scorponar, became a reign of terror. The Plain of Bones is a veritable graveyard of creatures both large and small. Often very, very old dragons come here to die too, and challenge anyone who they find there so that they would fall in battle. Those who dare risk entering can come back with lots of valuable bones and ivory, but only if they do not run afoul of the Skotor or some dying monstrosity. Such prophecies is found in general, as it is proven that the arrows of man-scorpions who turn to reign nearby realms. The Prefectus is the governor of Avernum. Gaius Ravius Perdiris, the Prefectus, the current Prefectus, at a very young age. Gifted, military career, corrupt. Okay, cool. Imperial Harbor City in the north. A middle region city. Trading houses. Okay. Vagrus, it's me, baby. And Vitrar are home to the Vitrar tribe, which we're at right now. Okay. Codex done. Let me stop here for today. Let's see, what do we have left to progress? We're currently about to sell a whole bunch of stuff to this town, so we're gonna have some money. We can buy some supplies and go down south. We have this here settlement to raid, plus these two. I don't know how... I don't know if we can have enough supplies to last this entire time, but we'll try. We'll see. Once we get to this place, we'll see if we have enough supplies, we can move on to this third one. If not, we can go to Larnac, I think. And if not, we can try and make it to the Umphalat outpost. We can move pretty far-ish. Especially if we take some time to rest. Meh, we'll see. We'll see how things play out. I do not know when I'll be next able to stream because I currently am gonna have a packed schedule, but I really do want to come back here. I want at least to finish this little scenario at the very, very, very least. Ideally, I will also play the main story. We'll see. This game is kind of spooky if you think about it, so it fits for October and Halloween. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. Later in the evening, I'll be streaming some more BattleTech, so that'll be that. Anyway, see ya!